Because Brandon's a what?
Because Brandon's a cute ass nigga.
So you don't have to
Just
ask
like,
for
Yeah,
numbers.
I never had to ask. They always like found out a way to get in contact with me. I mean, it's just me. I don't look for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But like, so like girls would contact me and be like, oh
and
yeah,
and you got
stuff.
6 foot privilege because
Yeah, that's true.
I noticed it. I noticed it twice throughout this conversation. You were like, "Oh, I'm 6'3". Phil was like, "Oh, Julian's 6'2". Phil, when's the last time you told a girl your height? When's the last time I told a girl my height?
I told a girl my height when I was defending my height.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, don't.
That's
She's
what-
like
that's
5'7".
what
I'm like, yo, don't disrespect me, shorty. I'm not 5'7". I'm 5'9".
That's what us 5 foot niggas got to do. We got to defend ourselves instead of being
don't
like,
try me.
And ask for numbers.
And if you ain't fucking with this podcast, then you're just a bitch ass trick.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Save It for the Pod. It's episode number 7. It's your boy Zach. I'm happy to be here. Had a little COVID scare this week, but tested negative. Didn't infect anybody else. I know Brandon was super nervous, but again, tested negative, so we all good. Got my boy AJ.
Your boy AJ.
Got my boy Phil.
Coronavirus.
And then Brandon.
That's not your boy.
And then Brandon. Just Brandon.
Brandon's not my boy. And my boy Brandon. But we could start off with you, Phil. You had a exciting.
We can start off with saying that Lil Lukey's not here again.
Yes.
So it's not just even episodes.
Where you at, Lukey?
Yes. I was gonna skip over him, give him the benefit of the doubt, but he doesn't deserve it because this is gonna be another episode and potentially another episode after that. So 3 episodes in a row where we don't have our special guest Luke, because at this
special guest now,
at this point that's what he is, the special guest. But now Luke is missing another episode. He has work this weekend, which me and AJ will be helping out with on different dates, or maybe I don't know. But Phil, you want to talk about your proud godfather moment you had this week?
You remember the stupid face.
I had a really proud godfather moment. So pretty much my godson, who is 11 years old, plays for the Joliet Ravens, and these little dudes is cold. So they're at Nationals this week.
What's the age group of them?
Also, if you can't tell, Phil's voice is kind of hoarse.
Yeah, my voice is hoarse from hollering, but it might make me kind of sound more sexy. I don't know.
I hear him in the headphones, and I'm like, hold on.
But he's 11, so he plays for the 11U team. And they good, and so I haven't seen him play all season because, of course, they play back in Joliet, which is Chicagoland area. So since they made it to Nationals, it was in Plant City. So I drove up Saturday and Sunday. They won the first 2 games, like 13-6, and then the second game was 26-6, and then they had the championship today. Drove 4 hours, watched the game. They won, drove back, but low key, like cheering for him this weekend and watching him play made me want to have a child.
Did you tell Danny this, your girl?
Yeah, but like only for a second. Only for a second, just because like as I'm watching him play, he plays defensive back, he plays cornerback, and so I played safety and cornerback in high school, and so I'm coaching him up and I'm yelling at him and stuff and I had that feeling of like a dad almost. It was weird, and I was like, damn, this is cool, like. It was weird, but he made the play in overtime on 4th down. It was 4th and 2. Oh no, it was 4th and 8. They threw it to his side in the end zone to tie the game to go to double overtime. He knocked the play down. They won a championship. And told my little dude, congrats. And yeah, man, that's it. So congrats to Joliet Ravens, man. Your 2020 youth football national.
11U.
It's lit. You think he listened to any of the advice you gave him?
Yeah, because I was yelling at him because sometimes he'd bite inside. So I was teaching him outside technique and how to take angles and run towards plays. And then I would let him know, like, hey, if they line up on this side, they coming your way. If they don't line up that side, they're not coming your way. And on that last play, I was telling him, get back. They come into the end zone, be ready. So I think he was listening. I think it was hard for him in the beginning to adjust to some of the stuff I was saying because he's not used to it, obviously, because I haven't watched him play all season.
So that's what I was going to say. You know that nigga didn't really listen to anything you said. Because if I was playing a sport, basketball is what I played growing up. I played 2 years of football, tackle football. I played more than in flag. But if somebody gave me advice, I'm not listening to what they saying, bro. Especially a nigga that's never watched me play before. It's going in one ear, out the other.
It's different though, cause I let him know like one, I played safety.
Yeah.
All of his uncles play cornerback, so we know like DB position. I know DB position pretty well. And after the second game, he could see that what I was telling him was true. And so that's why I think towards the end he started to like pay a little bit of attention to it.
Yeah.
But I think he listened. Because I let him know, like, yo, it's coming your way. Be ready. And next play, it's right in his face. And I'm like, I told you, when they do this, they come in your way. And then he'd be like, and then I asked him, like, so what do you see? What are they doing to you? Why you can't get off the block? And so, you know, it made me actually want to go home just to kind of, like, help him get better at, like, football.
Yeah. How, like, what is your relation to him besides being, like, the guy's son? Like, is it family? Is it friend?
Yeah, so he is my cousin's
son.
oldest son.
Got you.
Yeah, something
Got you.
like
Got you. All right. Well, moving off of that, so we can kind of start on something that we discussed last podcast. We discussed about the vaccine, whether we were taking it or not. And something that I saw on Twitter today is the reason why everyone in here besides myself didn't want to take the vaccine. And that was because of side effects. They were right. AJ said they were kind of rushing getting this vaccine out, and nobody knows exactly what the side effects would be. And the tweet that I saw was that one of the side effects, it was for the people that had taken the vaccine. They had Bell's palsy, yes. I think it's called, which is it literally the people in the picture. I don't know exactly how it affects the entire body, but I'm assuming it's mainly the face. So we'll make sure we have the camera on Brandon. But they just look like a bunch of why I oughta like that's what they look like.
One of these days.
So
oh dear.
So let's say that is the only side effect. Y'all still saying no if your job is making you?
Wait, it's how long does it last?
Like,
I don't think it's a permanent thing.
It depends. Sometimes it's permanent.
It really depends on the person. Like,
yeah.
You know, so the purple.
But if you had no other like long lasting side effects, you still saying no just for a couple of hours of Bell's palsy?
No, for sure. Yeah, and I'm still saying no.
Because the reason why you say no is because it's having that side effect so early. Yeah. What are the prolonged side effects of course. That may happen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Am I gonna like have the desire to bite people and like turn into a zombie like 28 weeks later?
Yeah, in a realistic world, there's probably more side effects. But I'm just saying, in my make believe world, if that's the only side effect, are you taking it? And if that's the only thing and it lasts a couple of hours, I'm probably taking it. If that's the only thing.
The tweet said it was only a couple of hours. I thought it was longer.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But even still, like that, the side effects wasn't the only reason for me. I just don't like taking stuff. Like if I get a headache, I won't even take Advil.
Yeah.
I'll just drink a bunch of water and then like sit it out.
Why is that though?
I don't like taking like chemicals or like manufactured medicine.
But is that because of side effects?
No.
Oh,
just
okay.
I'd
don't know what
I'd rather put natural things in my body than
So you like the natural.
So
medicine.
I'm on the same lines as him. Like I got bit by a cat, had to get rabies shots, and they gave me all kind of medication. I didn't take them at all. Like they gave me antibiotics, ibuprofen, all this. I was like, I didn't even open the thing. It's still in my room. It's just like you don't know what they really put in that stuff.
Of
so
course.
Like, why would you just like openly? If you're not having a problem, why take it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's always been my thing. So like even like breaking noses and stuff like that, Oxycontin they gave me. I was like, I never took it. I was like, I'd rather just deal with the pain than like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you have the possibility of getting hooked on it or, you know, but like same thing, like with this vaccine, like there's a lot to be proven with it. Like,
I think another thing is like when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, they gave me like Percocets, I think. Or was it? Or it might have been
Molly
Oxys.
Percocet.
And I took one and then I was like, I'm not taking these anymore. And just like sat through it.
Yeah, it's not that bad, you know.
Medication like that.
After you get acclimated to the pain, it's not that bad.
Honestly, because I think they gave me. I'm assuming they give everyone the same thing. But when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, honestly, that was like the worst time of my life. But mainly just not because of the pain, but for some reason, my gums like wouldn't heal. So for a week straight, I was just blood, tasting blood, eating Jello, tasting blood, eating mashed potatoes, tasting blood. Like, so I was just nauseous 24/7. But I don't really remember how the perk, because I've never had really any other major injuries. I mean, when I was younger, I broke my arm, sprained my ankle several times. We the broken ankle boys out here. So all of us have sprained our ankle at one point.
I broke mine.
But or you broke yours. And
didn't even know
AJ
at the
stays
time.
AJ stays hurting him. He's like Buddy and SpongeBob with
the
paper
glass,
skin
yeah.
and
My leg.
And
You guys have all the luck. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Oh, no! No!
anymore. I just ankle braces at all times now. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
The
but
perks give you weird dreams though.
yeah, perks. I don't remember how that made me feel.
Nah, bro. I
But-
couldn't do it, bro. I'm sorry.
But back to what you were saying, I still wouldn't take the vaccine. I was gonna take it regardless. But now that I know that it gives you like lockjaw for a couple hours, definitely not gonna take it.
I mean that I feel like it would just be funny to see what I look like with that shit. But
Yeah, but
What if it's
it can be
permanent?
permanent. Like Bell's palsy is permanent a lot of times.
okay, I know in the realistic world, yes.
Bro, you wouldn't be laughing if you had Bell's palsy. You'd be
I'm,
like, "Oh."
I'm talking about
Bro,
my
this-
make-believe world right now. I'm not
Yo,
talking about
do you,
real
do you
life.
think if it was
Bro,
permanent
if
that
you-
Tati leaves you?
Yes,
said what?
Nah.
Like, do you think Tati would leave you
Yeah.
if
No. Like, there's a lot of times where I ask Tatiana dumb questions like, "Would you have stayed with me if this or if that?" And she always says yes for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing she ever really says no is like if I had like a small ass dick or was trash in bed.
Lil Wee Wee.
But outside that,
Lil
like
Wee Wee
usually
game.
she's surprised. Like I asked her something dumb yesterday. I can't even remember what it was now, but usually she says yes. And honestly, and that kind of brings me to something else. A lot of the times I be feeling like I'm the girl in the relationship. Not so much that Tatiana wears the pants, but just a lot of the stuff that like you see on social media and people say, like, this is how girls act. Like I be acting that way. Not that I'm
yeah.
emotional, but like a lot of times you see, oh, you go to a restaurant, you ask your girl, do you want, or maybe not a restaurant, but like a fast food place, oh, you want to get your own meal, you want
Oh,
fries
yeah,
or
'cause
something
she's not
like
sharing
that.
Those fries with you at all.
And all the time I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna eat nothing. And every single time I start snacking on Tatiana's food or like her fries. And when Tatiana has fries, like she's a shark about that shit. She's not trying to share
She's like
at
a
all.
dog with a bone. You can't get around her fries.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that was something else. A lot of times I'll be asking dumbass shit like, oh, would you have been with me if this? But she takes it to a whole nother extreme when it comes to that. But yeah, that's really it on that. We can move on to, I don't know if we want to call it drunk stories or just kind of reminisce on experiences we've had in the past. So this is something that we've kind of brought up throughout several episodes, the Chicago trip.
Oh, the
Chicago trip
The
part
first
one,
one, yeah.
because we have two different Chicago trips, both equally as entertaining,
I
but
plead
the
the
one, the one might be slightly more entertaining. So how do we want to kick this story off? AJ, you want to take the reins on this one?
I mean, do we want to just talk about the trip in general?
how
or-
about yes? Let's
Well, we
talk
gotta
about the
preference
trip
it.
in general.
Yeah.
Let's get our two sides of the story because
Yeah.
it's dealing with us, and then AJ has the clarity.
Yeah, so
and
let's
he brings it all
let's start
back.
off why we went to Chicago in the first place. So as a group, I mean AJ specifically and Brandon, and they're all super into photography, but this specific trip, we went to Chicago because AJ's little sister at the time had played travel soccer.
I think it might have been nationals or something.
Might be a big tournament.
And yeah, there's my family was gonna be up in Chicago, and there we usually try to get around or get to see all my sister's games whenever she has them and stuff. But yeah, so we were gonna go, like me and my brother, and then we talked to everyone. That Chicago is Phil's hometown. He used to live in Waukegan also, but we were like, oh, let's make a trip out of it. Let's just rent a car. Phil was working at Enterprise at the time, could get us a discount. We rented a van and just packed it, and then made that 20-hour drive. And this was actually
That was
the
crazy.
the first summer that you were in Toledo, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it was the first summer.
Yeah.
He was in Toledo. It was like late summer, like August or so.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen Zach since he had left, so we decided to go drive up to Toledo, and then ended up stealing him, even though he wasn't supposed to come.
Yeah, they kidnapped me.
Want you mad at me?
No thanks.
No, agreement not necessary.
Yeah, I kidnapped him, and then we took off and drove the rest of
It
the
was like a scene in Old School when they jumped out the van and grabbed him. It's like,
Yeah.
we'll bring him back.
That's exactly what it was.
And then I had to work, so I flew up. Like, I flew up, met up with him. I didn't drive up.
Oh, yeah. You missed the drive. You missed all the fun, bro.
He drove back, but
I
yeah,
drove
he definitely
back,
missed
yeah.
the drive on the way up. Driving on the way up was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was.
So, real quick, so we could just touch on this. Do you even remember how your sister did in that tournament? How her team did?
Honestly, no. It was 4 years ago, so
Yeah.
they probably, and they definitely placed, I don't know, maybe like third or something.
I didn't even know that was the reason we went up there.
But yeah, we only saw a couple of, actually, I don't know how many games we had, but we made it out to like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Julian ended up,
He won
my
the
brother and Phil Phil went over and entered a competition for some tires, some Yokohama tires.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then he's like, hey, nobody entered this competition because I'm trying to win these tires. And then we all go like, oh, why not? Let's all enter them. So we'll have better chances. And then
Yeah.
my brother Julian ends up winning the tires, and Phil was salty.
Did he claim those tires?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got them.
Oh.
He
I
got them.
was
He put them
hot.
on his car and everything.
I
Oh,
was
really?
hot because I never win stuff.
But yeah, I mean, the trip was fun in general. When we got up there, we Phil took us to a couple spots. We did the
As
dish
soon
thing.
as soon as we landed, Phil took us to the hood, took us to get like chicken sandwiches. I don't even
Bro,
remember.
it was
what they
hot
did.
dogs, bro.
It was like
It was some
sausages and
glizzies,
chicken.
bro.
And chicken.
He took us to get some glizzies. And then, he has the nerve to come up to me and he's like, are you scared?
It was
I was
Maxwell's.
like-
think it was Maxwell's.
was like-
Maxwell Street hot dogs or something like that. Because like we went up there, so I was like, all right, since this was y'all first time to the city.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the first time we'd ever been there.
So I was
And
like, all right, well, I'm gonna show y'all how to do like summertime shy. Because I always like whenever I'm in Florida, I talk about summertime shy. There's nothing better than
Say it again.
Chicago in the summertime.
say it one more time.
It's nothing better than summertime shy, and I'm standing on it. Like it's the best place to
Summertime
be.
shy.
Downtown cracking.
Summertime.
So when we go up, I'm like, all right, we gonna make sure I give y'all all the staples. So we get Giordano's, we get Joe's, Maxwell's, we get Chicago style pizza, Portillo's. Like I take them all around.
We didn't do Portillo's that time.
No.
I don't think we did.
That was around
Oh,
two,
we
bro.
didn't actually. That was around 2. So we do those, and then a bunch of my friends are still back home. So I hit up my nigga D, and I'm like, yo, what's the move? Like we got to show these boys a good time. So at this time, D's plugged in. He's been plugged in. So he like, yo, let's hit up Joy District. We having a party for his crew, and I'm like, bet. So I'm like super excited because I got my Florida crew. I'm calling up Johansson, my nigga Troy. I'm calling up Justin. So I got like all my niggas in one spot for the first time. And so we get to Joy District, and D was
And it's Joy,
Joy.
Joy.
Yeah,
Joy
'cause it
District.
always sound like you
says
say
Joey
Joey.
every time, and we're like, where? This isn't Joey
Joy's
District.
District. Joy's District. So we
He's-
get
he's
there.
struggling
The
still.
D give us
D, not the D.
oh, D
The D give us. Yeah,
D
but-
plugs
Hey,
us
yo.
with the
D.
VI
Oh,
D. I said D plugs us.
yeah, that is still
He
kind of.
plugs us. Like,
D plugs us is kind of like.
All right, so I don't know
I
how
mean,
to.
it's all right, you know.
He get us in VIP.
Whatever
So
you want.
Yes,
so
sir.
we in VIP because they have rented out, like they had already had bottle service. So
Yeah, so we get in there before we're on the rooftop and all
Yeah.
that too. It's like, and we're from Florida, so August in Florida, you don't want to be outside at all.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like at night, like we're wearing long sleeves jeans and stuff. It's like 67 degrees, 69.
It was
Perfect
beautiful.
weather for being out on a rooftop and during the summer in Florida. Like even at 10 o'clock, it's
Yeah.
close to 90 degrees.
Yeah, if you
And
had
it's
those
humid.
clothes on, what we had, you have swamp ass. Like,
Yeah.
straight up.
Definitely.
And I was kind of surprised when we was on the rooftop because, of course, Miami prices when you go out to the club or the bar, they OD out here. You get a shot of something, they taxing. And I know, like the Midwest and everywhere else, it's fairly cheaper. So I had got a tequila shot, and that shit was like $20 for a shot. And then this is when like Luke being typical Luke, cause again, tequila, I got a shot, and I tell this nigga, yo, they taxing out here, and this, let me get 20 shots for the team, and then he's surprised when it's as expensive as what it is, and I'm like, nigga, I just told you how much these shots cost, and he's still like,
They was that expensive.
yes, bro, that shit was dumb expensive.
I didn't have those issues. I wasn't drinking.
Hey, Luke didn't give a fuck because like
When
he was a speed demon.
Right,
Like remember, he was a speed demon. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he did speed on the way up there. Didn't
Yeah.
He? You gotta
like,
take.
we told him like, all right, so
sweating.
backtracking.
Oh wow, in the car. That
we
was.
told him do not speed through Georgia. Like, do not speed through Georgia.
He drove the least amount of time out of everyone.
Yeah, he was like,
got slapped with a
speeding.
ticket super quick.
And like, bro, I saw the cop like from a mile away, and I was
didn't
like,
he have
is this nigga gonna slow down?
his radar thing too?
Well,
Nah, he
that's
didn't
illegal in
have
Oh,
Georgia.
that was me. I had the radar.
Okay.
I brought up, but like,
But you gotta take
he-
it off in Georgia anyways because it's illegal.
But he did not see the cop, and he like was going like 90 something.
Yeah.
And like flew by him. I was like, yo.
He was so nervous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
I was like,
Clenching.
I'm definitely dying tonight, and I'm okay with it.
Bro, the
Like, you know
fair,
what I'm
the
saying?
fairest
Like,
skin out
I
of
want
all
my
of us. He was
niggas-
like,
Yeah.
Luke,
guys, just chill out. Just don't say anything. Just chill out.
yeah. bro, he came with a flashlight. He's like, you got any weapons in the car? Luke's
I was
like,
like, no, sir.
I swear, like Luke, like pissed on himself a little bit, like maybe a little bit.
This goes back to Luke being the scariest and the softest in the group, but
Yes.
he's also the most scared of police. Because remember when we got into it with that Miami cop on the highway?
When he pulled me over and he
and
was
he pulled you
freaking
over,
out.
and Luke was
Chill,
like,
bro,
chill, bro. AJ's like, no. AJ got mad, boy.
Yeah, I was going in
Bro,
on him.
but then like I was like, yo, chill, because what we have in the
Because
back
you-
seat.
yeah, 'cause
like,
you guys were
dude,
drinking and stuff.
you know?
That was that's another story in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, that was funny.
Damn,
as hell.
we gotta notate that. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
So back to Joy District. We on the rooftop and we in
Luke
there.
spending money.
Luke spending money. D got bottle service, so of course we getting faded. Like we having a good time, and like during the party, I realized how deep we was.
So
like-
Phil started feeling himself.
Like we was like 20 deep.
Nah, we might have been
No.
like 25, 30 deep.
At least,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like 20 because you had to
Damn.
you factor in us. It was like what 6 of us.
At least 6 of us.
Six
and
of us, and then Johansson, Troy, Justin. That's 3 of my homies from the city.
Julie and her friend.
Julie and her friend from the city that came.
Yeah.
On top of D and all and the stew crew, which was like, and it was like 8 of them.
What's
His
the
name was there
crew?
too.
Who?
The whose birthday was it?
It was whose birthday was it?
Bro, he not wear glasses, but he has like the really, I don't know if he's bald or has a super low boy. He said he knocked someone out.
Oh, Corey. No,
No, it
Joe
wasn't-
Porter. Joe
yeah,
Porter.
they-
It was
Joe
Joe
Porter.
Porter.
What about light-skinned
Joe
nigga?
Porter.
Joe Porter.
That was Joe Porter.
No, he wasn't light. skin.
Joe
Porter
Porter
was
was there.
light.
He's like
the
Phil's
super
skin
light-skinned dude.
color.
Down in
remember
London.
What's
London.
the
That's
stew
the little one.
crew?
That's the smaller one,
Yeah,
right?
London was
One that had a
small.
girl
I just
fighting.
tried him off, bro.
Remember 2 girls were fighting over him or something?
London.
Phil, what's
sounds like
the
him.
Phil? What's the stew crew?
That's D's crew.
Oh,
I don't really know what the acronym is.
Oh, okay.
That's just D's crew.
You're NFL, and he was the
Yeah.
crew.
So all you need to know is we was deep.
Yeah.
There was a lot
Yeah.
of people there.
And the place wasn't even that big. Like honestly, we were probably like 1/8 of the entire population of the club.
Yeah.
But we had like the rooftop sold up, so we had VIPs. Like it was just niggas dispersed everywhere. And at one point, we were able to get the mic from the DJ, so we got on.
Well,
top.
that was at that was the rooftop, and then
That
at
was
like
rooftop.
10 it closes, and then we moved down into like the main part of the club, and that's when you guys had like the VIP or whatever, and you were standing on couches.
Oh
you
yeah,
continue
bro,
from
y'all
there.
was.
Oh yeah,
everybody
taking
was up there
tequila shots,
chilling.
telling everyone to get off the couches.
So
Niggas
when
was
did,
not getting off the couches.
So who
They were like, "Ah,
infiltrated?
fuck it."
Who infiltrated the bridal party? 'Cause
That was Brandon.
That was
Okay.
me. All right.
Because
all right.
wait, you didn't even finish when you were like on talking about how you were by the DJ booth, and
Oh, how we almost fought security?
I wasn't talking about that. I just remember looking up and seeing you next to the DJ on top of like the speakers of the couch or whatever
Oh yeah.
with the mic here.
Oh, we had the mic. We was on the mic. We had the mic from the DJ. Niggas was standing on top of the speakers, like
I was
really,
like, yo, that sounds like Phil. And I looked
really
over,
hype
and
man in the party.
he was up there like, yeah, this is our shit.
Oh, I just remember this. I had my sparkly shoes too. My little Steve Madden.
With the rhinestones.
Yeah, that was super sparkly.
Like, what's his name? Like Trinidad James?
Yeah, exactly. And Hose was loving that. Tatiana knows this, so I'm not incriminating myself. But Hose, oh my God, I love your Jules.
But that also remind me how I told y'all, I was like, whenever we back in Florida, so how Florida women work.
Oh yeah,
How they
Jules
work?
had his golds. So this
Oh,
goes
very-
into
yeah.
that too.
All right, so Jules had his goals at the time, and right before this trip, like, so me being a Chicagoan in Florida, I hate Florida women. They are fine as hell though. So like, Florida has some of the baddest women in the states, but they lack substance across the board for the most part. A lot of them. And what I would always tell the homies, I'm like, yo, y'all come up to the city, bro. Like, the girls ain't as bad as Florida girls, but they way cooler, way more substantive, and like
I don't think that's a word.
they have way more substance.
We
I
know
don't
what you're
fucking know.
saying,
Right,
but you
you're
try to
under-
make a
That is not a word.
Phil's under some substantives himself.
Is it substance? Is that a word?
No, I don't think so, my G.
I don't know, G. I just think I'm pronouncing it
He's
wrong.
making
But
up
I'm
I
not
think,
words
gonna. I'm
right
not
now.
even gonna try to guess what you're saying because I'm just gonna make
I
myself
think I'm
do it.
pronouncing.
They have
Under-
more
under the influence.
Sustenance
Maybe.
to them. That's probably what you're looking for.
But anywho, they're just better people. And so I would always tell them, like, yo, whenever y'all go to the city, y'all gonna get hella love from chicks. Like, off rip. Because you don't look like you from Chicago. Like, you dress different, you talk different, you sound different, you look different. And so when y'all get out there, girls gonna come and holler at y'all. And they like, nah, bro, blah, blah, blah. Girls don't do that. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we get to the city. The first night we go out with Nick.
Bro, Nick wasn't there. This
Who's
Chicago
Nick? Was it you then? Or Julian? Who made out with the chick that night we went out the
It
first
definitely
night?
was not me.
It might have been Jules,
Bro,
but
you're
he was single at the time. So
you're kind of. I think you're mixing both
Disclaimer.
the stories.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you.
No,
are
but the
defining.
Egyptian
Oh, the
chick.
Yeah,
Egyptian girl.
The
Yeah,
Egyptian
yeah,
girl
yeah.
did try to bag Bert.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was part.
That
was part one.
That was
Yeah,
the
part
first
one.
night. Yeah.
But even at Joy District, most of y'all got hella love from chicks.
Yeah.
All like everybody was getting love.
We did.
No, you were right. Well, not saying that you were wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, that when we went to the breakfast place, Jules had his golds in, and the girl was like in love with him, and she was like, "Oh, you're not from." And the thing is, like, I guess maybe because we down here, like, golds just feels like, and when I say golds, because when I say it to Tatiana, she has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but grills, which that sounds so corny to me, gold fronts, whatever you want to call it, I just call them golds. I mean, most people down here call them golds, but Jules had his in, the girl at the register, she was in love with him. Do y'all remember the name of that place? Because that place had the best pancakes I've ever had in my life. I think to this day,
To this day! To this day!
I think about that pancake place, and it was just
I don't remember,
plain ass pancakes. They weren't chocolate chip, which I love, blueberry, which I love. They were just plain ass pancakes, but that place was fucking amazing. But nah, I feel you were definitely right. The hoes loved us just from being out of town niggas.
Yeah.
So in the midst of us wilding out, somehow Brandon infiltrates the bridal shower. VIP.
Yeah. So let me tell you this story. So, yeah, like I said, we was very deep, and there's a lot of people up here. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm about the Western expansion. So you know what I'm saying? I'm about to take my leave like I'm Lewis and Clark.
You over here
So I just like
Lone
left.
wolf
Like I just walked away. I was a little inebriated at the time. And all of a sudden I was just walking and these girls started calling me and I was like, what? And they were like, come up here. And you know, I'm 6'3", you know, so you know. I was like, all right,
Specimen.
what up? So they're like, they invited me in the VIP. So I'm just like chilling in VIP with just no dudes in here, just me. And a bunch, like, it's a bridal shower. And so I'm like chilling, like having a blast, you know what I'm saying? Like they're giving me free drinks and everything. Then out of the corner of my eye, I see Phil and Luke looking at me like, they're like,
Nah, because I think Luke.
Nah, you were in there. You were in there for a minute because you went in there, and then I was walking with you, and I ended up going in there right after, and we were just chilling in there. But it was like a good 20, 30 minutes before Luke and Phil realized that they're in someone else's VIP, smacking their bottles or drinking or like let's go see what's up in there.
It
Because
wasn't
it was
even-
it was just hella chicks. It was like a
Yeah.
bridal party from.
like
They're from Hawaii.
something.
Yeah, they're from Hawaii.
It was pretty
So
dope.
just a bunch
Oh
of
yeah.
So it wasn't even the fact that they was drinking. It was more so like, so when we get in there, we all like within that big group, we all kind of take a small group and we like divide and conquer. So I'm chilling with like Johansson, or I got Luke next to me, and so we in like a group of 4, and then we'll walk across, see Zach, like Brandon, AJ, and then Bert. Yeah. So within like walking through, Luke taps me like, yo, they in VIP. So from my view, I see Brandon and AJ with like 7 Asian or Polynesian women. Polynesian women. And I love Asian women. And so I'm like, oh damn, they in there with some baddies.
They're pretty cute.
They were in there with some baddies. So we like, let's go up in there. So we get up in there and they like, oh, y'all are cute too. Come in.
Yeah. Then I slid y'all on the girls. I was like, yo, take this. And y'all was on. They was on them girls. Oh, yeah. They was on them. And I was
Luke fell in love that night.
Oh yeah, he did. He did fall in love.
I fell in love that night too. But it wasn't with the girl at the bridal shower. It was another girl
that was like, and that was the main girl you were dancing with at first, Brandon. And which makes the rest of the story even more funny.
Hey, ain't no fun if the homies don't get some, right, Phil? Right.
Got her number, all that.
Yeah, so I like literally passed Shorty off to my dog. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, I don't care. And then you know what I'm saying, like there's like what 60% women in the world and then like 40% men. So you know there's gonna be something out there for me. So I was like, as long as my homie, you know, he gets something, I'm cool. So like they got up in there, they was vibing, they were drinking their bottle, and they were having the time of their life. And I was like, I did what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? We conquer. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my homie gets something. That's pretty much
we all get some, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, it's time to make my leave. I left VIP, you know what I'm saying? And I met these 2 chicks. One was from Detroit, one was from Australia. I couldn't tell which one was from which because I was inebriated. So like I get that part of the story gets confusing, like which one was from which. But yeah, I was talking to both of them, and like Julian.
One of them was like had a fiance or something, but thought Brandon was super cute, and then the other one also thought Brandon was cute, but was like single. But Brandon wanted the one that had a fiance, and he wasn't trying to let it go.
Nah, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a goalie doesn't mean I can't score, bro.
All right, and to me, the one that wasn't taken was way more attractive. I'm like, Brandon,
I was confused.
It's an easy decision. Like, what's going on here? And he's like, nah, bro, there's something about her. It's just like,
she's taken.
She's taken, you know.
She's unavailable, so that makes her
hotter. Unavailable, it makes her desirable, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, yo, but look at her. She's saying she wants you too, and she's way better. Just talk to her. And he's just like, nah, bro, I don't know. So he keeps trying with that same. I'm like, bro, all right.
I actually was trying. I was trying with both of them at the same time.
Well, that's true. You were trying with both of them.
All right. And then Bert comes over. He's like, you need help? Yeah, I was like, no, I don't need help, nigga.
He puts his arm around on Brandon's shoulder. He's like, hey, what's going on here? That's Brandon's, Brandon Julian's signature move. Just arm around the shoulder. What's going on? And Brandon's like, nope, I got this, bro.
Mind you, Julian's 6'2" with broad shoulders too. So the niggas just both like stout.
Yeah.
But
I was like, I got this. I didn't have this. But like,
did you leave VIP before we got kicked out?
Yeah.
I left. I put y'all on, and I was like, all right, it's time to make my move.
So you slid out, and you said it nice. We didn't just drink their bottles. We was busting down their bottles.
Yeah, they were.
So we got in our VIP, and the chicks was like sharing their bottles with us. Bro, we was throwing them bitches back. And like they noticed,
like it was Gatorade, just like
we was taking. Me and Luke was running through their bottles, bro.
They were. They were.
We was already drunk, so.
Bro. And the only reason why y'all left is because like I think the bridal party left, and then y'all were just in there.
Yeah.
And like the entire party ended up leaving.
Yeah.
And then y'all were just still in there, like, what are you guys doing in here? You guys weren't even part of that, and they just left, and then
Well, we had the space too, so it was like at one point we thought, if we keep the space, we could just invite some people in the space.
Yeah.
Since we already here.
Just squatters' rights.
Yeah. I mean, it was squatters.
Then, the night ended up being really, really good, and then it ended with
that's what I wanted to get to.
An iconic.
So the most iconic fight ever in the org. I think, in my personal opinion, because of the video.
Yeah, I think so too.
Shout out the cameraman, me.
Shout out the cameraman, Zach. Thank God didn't record it with sound.
No, I actually
Because-
wish that video
Yeah,
had
because we could
sound.
have just released it
Yeah.
without sound.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I don't
true.
want that.
I wish.
But at
that
the time,
video
because
had
I was,
sound.
Honestly,
I was
the sound
sober.
wasn't that bad. You were just hot.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was sober at the I didn't know, like, well, I guess at that point I recorded what happened and then muted the sound.
No, you muted it after on purpose.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to incriminate nobody. That sober Zach mind, like, working still.
Yeah.
He ain't no
Yeah,
fed.
clarity.
He ain't no
Yeah.
fed.
He has some
Like,
foresight.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Let me not incriminate nobody, even though I don't think anything bad was said. But
oh,
I
yeah.
muted it.
There was some bad said, but not that bad.
It wasn't that. It was.
It
just
wasn't
like,
nothing bad. It
Yeah.
was
So
so
it was just like on the lines of I'm on a fight.
I think it was just I didn't want Brandon to look crazy, and that's what it was.
That's what it was. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, without sound, it just leaves more room, more room for like your
It
mind
makes
to
me
wander.
look even
Like,
more crazy. Like,
Yeah,
what is he
yeah.
saying? Like,
So wait, when did we start fighting though?
but from like it was so we all walked out and you guys were all trying to still get on girls as we were leaving. Like this is in the street, just talking to random people, and then
no, I was in the elevator.
No,
bro,
we started fighting.
You guys,
when we
you guys were
left.
fighting from like right when we left. We were sitting there and just walking the entire time,
because
going back
Brandon
and
ain't
forth.
getting on
Before
no
you start that
hoes.
though, before you start that
So-
though, I was feeling myself.
Don't even
Bro, Phil
start
was
that.
definitely feeling
Before you
himself.
start that though, I was feeling myself because there was a chick in there that eyed me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm about to get this shorty before I leave." And I thought the whole night, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the bridal party chick. This was a chick that was she was in a separate VIP. It's like a white girl, like a dark hair brunette white girl was slugging, and so she was with like. 3 or
Real
4
quick,
dudes.
explain to the people what slugging is, because they're
Oh,
not. They're
slugging
not
means you just got a big butt, like nice cheeks.
but explain why is slugging, bro.
Because it's just, I don't know, it's just with the gravity pull it down. So it's slugging.
So she like a slug. I mean,
It's
it's
a
more.
slug bug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
A
it's
slug
dragging behind
bug.
her,
it's just
leaving
she's
juices.
dragging a wagon. So it's a thick white girl that was cute as hell, like Midwest cute. So like, you know,
So that means she's ugly.
nah, it means
Midwest-
like
She's a 4 anywhere else.
no, Midwest white girls are like the homely white girls. They're not necessarily ugly. They just look
Homely?
real homely. They don't look like the fit.
Like they've been working on the
Like
farm.
they can cook you a good meal.
We
And you can take 'em home to your
apologize to all our
parents.
Midwest followers.
But so she's there and she's with, but she in the VIP with like 3 or 4 of the dudes. So I'm not sure if she has a boyfriend. So the whole night I'm thinking in my mind, like, I see she's eyeing me and she's like sending me signals. I'm about to grab shorty. And so I go over there and I'm like, man, you've been looking at me all night. I don't know if you trying to spit, like, get at me or not. She's like, no, I think you're cute. I'm like, well, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, be rude because your man right there. She's like, that ain't my man. Long story short, I get her number.
Oh,
so
I remember.
we leave.
Yeah.
We
Come on,
leave.
man.
I'm on one. I'm like, I got this shorty number. I'm about to hit her up, blah, blah, blah. And then that's how I think that we started transitioning to the argument that AJ was getting to.
Yeah, because Phil was definitely feeling himself. I remember that, and he was coming off all cocky. He's like, "Yeah, I just got this girl's number, whatever." And Brandon's like, "Oh, it's like I was talking to girls or whatever." And I think maybe it was like you thought it was one of the girls in VIP, and you're like, "Oh no, I gave you her or something." I think that's probably what started or like it sparked
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I'm not 100%,
Maybe.
but Phil was like, "Nah, you wasn't on no hoes," and then he's like, "I wasn't on no
Yeah,
hoes."
this man was like, you was on no hose.
The whole
and
night,
that
just
was
basically
my
trying to call
only
him
mission.
not lame, but just like
Dumbest argument of
wasn't
all
doing
time.
that.
Literally.
It was-
Literally.
Nigga
I
shit.
think,
literally-
I think I said that because you didn't get no.
for a mile and a half
you
to the
didn't get no
parking
number,
garage.
did you?
Bro, we was only for like a couple of days. It was
No, that's I'm like 100% sure I said that because you didn't get no numbers. Because I had got shorty numbers. Julian had.
But
got,
did it ever manifest?
It don't matter.
He should,
No, it do
Rick
matter,
got
nigga.
Amir's number.
We about to have the
I got
no
Lena's
hoes
number.
argument all over
You
again.
got a number. Like it was like we all left when we was like you
Yeah,
know how in
Brandon
that
about
wood.
to start punching walls. Phil,
No,
you better.
it's not, I'm not gonna punch the wall.
No,
You know
but
what I'm saying? I'm beyond that right now.
I'm just saying, like, you know how that scene in the wood where they at the party, at the dance, and they like, so how many numbers you get?
Yeah.
So that's almost what it was like
But
between us.
I feel like that's like that toxic masculinity. Like y'all
No.
fronting, but y'all ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, you can't get none if you don't get at least a number.
Yes, you can. Bro.
I mean, you can, but you didn't.
There's a lot of girls that I done got with. I ain't never had a number in my life.
I feel you, but at the same time,
Bro, hold on. When were we leaving after that night?
we
we
had
had
a
a
whole
couple
nother
nights.
day.
We had a couple. We had a few nights.
Okay.
We had like
Yeah,
3
we
nights.
had a whole nother
But
day.
it's still. Did you get some?
No, because
Okay, thank you.
The chick left the next day.
all righty then. Okay, like, you know.
I mean, this is hindsight, but at the time, we
Hindsight.
walking out, right? So,
I'm
let me.
not gonna get her number
Yo.
unless I
Phil,
see
you better
I'm
guard
gonna
your
get
walls,
at her.
bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a bitch to get at her. I was like, all right, this is like super. This is superficial. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, this is whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't get her tonight, like,
Yeah.
it ain't worth the effort for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like, you know, I'm a wifey chick. You know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it like that.
It don't matter.
So, no, it do matter because that's a different perspective. Like your
Yeah,
argument,
like
okay,
it's-
your argument is sound with you, but with me, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is in that moment, in my eyes, is like because we went out like on a mission, we was like, yo, we finna go out, have a good time, get some hoes. Like we on that. We even like before we went out, we was all like, yeah, we on that.
But
we put our
when
hands in
when
like
you
this.
say get
Real
hoes,
quick, it
it's
wasn't.
very
I was not
possessive,
involved in this.
Yeah, Zach was definitely not on.
I
hers.
was happily in a relationship.
Well,
Yeah,
you
girls-
just wanted to go out and have fun. You just wanted to go see what the city
He was
was like.
he
Yeah.
was sober.
But all the single niggas was
every
like,
every time we've not ever gone out, y'all be like, oh, why you go home with that girl? I was like, bro, like I'm just having a good time. Like you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about all that. Like that's all superficial. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying this
Like-
is just the gist of the argument.
no,
and-
but I'm telling you with my background because you should know me as a friend.
You guys are
know what I'm
you guys
saying?
are arguing about the argument before we even get through the argument.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, look, time out. What's going on is Phil was like, "Hey, I was saying he was not on any host because he didn't get a number." Brandon's like, "I don't have to get a number for me to be on host or
Yeah.
whatever."
Yeah, it doesn't
But I'm
make
saying-
that makes no damn sense.
But I'm saying he wasn't on the hoes because all the single niggas left with numbers.
Right,
And we
right.
were all-
That
and we-
doesn't-
Okay, you
but
left
his
with numbers, but you
definition
still
is-
never got anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
His
so-
definition is that for him to be on host doesn't have to constitute him getting a
True.
number.
True.
But like that's exactly the definitions having different definitions is the reason why
We
the
got into a
argument
fight.
All right,
happened.
but let's
But like,
let's.
I've never in my life like asked a girl for her number. She's
Yeah.
either, like giving it to me like later on or whatever.
I'm the same way. I'm
Because
the
why?
same way.
Why Zach?
And-
Because why? Because Brandon's a what?
Because Brandon's a cute ass nigga.
So you don't have to
Just
ask
like,
for
Yeah, I
numbers.
just
never,
like
I
me.
never had asked. They always like found out a way to get in contact with me. I mean, it's just me. I don't look for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But like you know, so like girls would contact me and be like, oh
and
yeah, I think
you
Same.
got 6 foot privilege because
Yeah,
it's
that's
act-
true.
I
I didn't
noticed
even ask
it.
for
I
number.
noticed it twice throughout this conversation. You were like, "Oh, I'm 6'3". Phil was like, "Oh, Julian 6'2". Phil, when's the last time you told a girl your height? When's the last time I told a girl my height?
I told a girl my height when I was defending my height.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, don't.
That-
She's
that's
like, you
what-
like
that's what I-
5'7". I'm like, yo, don't disrespect me, shorty. Like,
That's-
I'm not 5'7".
I'm
I'm 5'9".
That's
5'8"
what
and a half.
that's what us 5 foot niggas got to do. We got to defend ourselves
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
like,
being
don't
like,
try
Yeah.
me.
And ask for numbers.
yeah, you have to ask for numbers. Like I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
He
Like,
said, "Phil, you're a midget. You gotta ask for
I'm
numbers."
comfortable with
I
that
feel
because I get the most hoes out of us. So I don't care or used to.
okay.
That's
Alright.
not even debatable.
Are they heifers or hoes?
Does not matter.
Just
I get the
kidding,
most
like-
women.
all right,
kidding
so
about
let's
that.
jump
I'm
to
just
the
talking.
elevator scene.
All right. So,
wait, why we had to jump? All right. I mean, I guess.
Well,
We don't
because
have to- we
we've
don't have
been
to-
we've been
You
talking
can-
in circles
That's
outside
exactly
of
what happened for the entire 15-minute walk
Yeah.
to get to the car.
So
I'm just going back and
from
forth
the
like this.
club to the car. It was about Brandon.
It
You
was a
ain't
mile
on
and a
hoes.
half.
he was like, "You ain't on the hose." I was like, "I was on hose," and pretty much what I was saying to him was like, "I
I
literally
passed you the hose.
felt bad for you, and I gave you my hose, and then I left."
And I told him I didn't need your hoes because got my own hoe.
Yeah, but the only reason
said
why
the
you
girls
got
never got
the
one,
only
you
reason
were
why
in
you
there.
guys had got up into VIP is because I was like, "Those are my homeboys, let them up." And
Yeah.
the girls were like, "Okay, let them up. They cute, whatever."
These are my smaller
And
friends.
it's dark in here. Like they cute. They look cute.
That was the only reason we got into that VIP. We already was in
Okay,
VIP.
but you know what I'm saying? I vouch for you guys to get up here. And you know, I'm about sharing the wealth, you know what I'm saying? Socialism. I'm share the wealth, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna share the wealth, and you know what? I'm gonna move on to some new territory, and I'm gonna be prospecting. So that's what I was like. That's
Wait, how, you were doing what?
prospecting.
But
You
with
know
the-
what I'm saying? I was like,
I feel you on that, and I feel you on that
gold.
because
Oh, I got gold, you know what I'm saying? But she has a fiance, oh, you know. But yeah, so that's what I was on. And Phil was like, "You're not on any hoes," and I was like, "Bro, I probably was on out of the most of everybody in here. I was talking to the most hoes in there, and like not hoes. I'm sorry, women. I was talking to the most women in
Because
there.
Brandon doesn't talk to heifers.
Yeah, I don't talk
I
that.
don't,
I can't believe you
Again,
said that.
I don't know, bro.
You know,
I'm just messing.
I shot my shot a lot.
So you guys, you can do all that.
Phil's a high volume shooter
and all that,
Oh,
but
yes.
it don't mean nothing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, y'all do all that. I got her number. What is that supposed to? What is that gonna do?
You know how much box I got off getting a number? That's the first
Okay,
step.
I understand you get boxed from afterwards for that, but like, did you?
That's
get
what
any
it
that
does.
night? Did you get any that night?
No, not
That whole trip?
No.
Brandon,
he went to sleep.
Brandon.
No one got
He
none
went to
of it.
sleep happy though.
Say no again in my ear.
Did you get something that night?
No, bro.
Okay.
But I was totally fine with it. You wasn't.
Brandon, do you remember punching walls in the elevator that night?
Man, I don't punch walls so many times it don't feel like
So
shit.
what happened in the elevator?
So
It was the same thing
It
that was
was-
happening
yes.
now.
It's
It was
happening
just in a
right now.
confined space.
Yeah.
And y'all were just yelling
and
at each other.
instead of hitting you, which I should have did,
You
I
wouldn't
punched the wall.
Brandon
Bro, I would've knocked your ass
was-
out.
You wasn't
Jake
gonna
Paul.
knock shit out. You wasn't gonna knock
Like,
shit out. I
yeah.
told her in the elevator, I'm like, bro, you ain't getting no hose. Bro, I beat your motherfucker. I'm like, you ain't gonna do shit. Like,
Brandon-
you gonna do it, do
Because
something.
you my brother. Like, I'm not gonna literally punch you over something so superficial like that.
He wasn't saying like he was gonna hit you because of you said he wasn't getting on hose. He was just annoyed with like the argument.
I know,
still
but
going
Yeah,
on.
I literally.
And Phil was making 0 points. He
Yeah.
was just like Brandon was making actual points, and he was like, "But yeah, you just wasn't on the hose." But you ain't getting
That's
enough.
what he
Like
fell back
I was
to.
like,
And I was
Brandon,
like-
just don't argue with him anymore. Don't say anything. But Brandon,
Yeah.
like they're both drunk, whatever.
Be competitive too. So
Yeah,
it was
but yeah.
like,
so I was just trying to explain to him how I was on hose. Like, even when I'm drunk, I'm very coherent with everything that I'm doing. And AJ knows that. Trust me, AJ knows that for a
Yes.
fact. I'm very coherent even when I'm like plastered. So I was trying to talk sense into Phil, but I was inebriated, and I know that you can't do that even when he's sober.
You can't.
So
you can't talk sense to me,
because
period.
he's the most
That's exactly what he
disagreeable.
said, even when
if
he's
you
sober.
say one thing to him, he's like, "I'm gonna disagree no matter what, and I'm gonna dig my trenches, and I'm gonna die right here." That's how he's
That's what it
like.
is, yeah.
So, but I was trying to bring him out of that. I was like, "Yo, big bro, like, listen, I was on these girls. I let you get on. I was on these other girls. You know, this and that." And he's like, "Nah.
Wasn't on no
wasn't
hoes."
You wasn't on no hoes." And I was like, and so the argument kept going. I got so upset.
He just got
that I
the
couldn't
10,
talk
11.
sense into him. That he was like dense like a freaking rock. And so I just punched literally the elevator. And I was like, "Bro, how you gonna tell me I wasn't on the hose when I was
I
on
think
all
you
these
might have gave
girls?"
that elevator a 2-piece.
and
I don't think it was
Yeah, I
one
think it
punch
was.
But
either.
We'll have to put the video in there. We'll
then Phil was just there. He was in
The
there.
craziest thing to me was this was hilarious to me.
But you was
No, you were
Nah,
serious.
Yeah,
too.
you
I
were-
was serious.
you was
I was
serious,
serious
At the
too.
time.
But I like being engaged. I like being
like
in
conflict.
arguments. Like I like
Okay.
conflict.
He likes
so
fracas.
it was like hilarious to me. And then he got mad and it was like, bro, I beat you. Like, you know what I'm saying? He threw the threats at me. And I'm like, all right, well, you ain't gonna do that. And you still ain't on no hoes. So it don't matter. So
Bro, what would I gain out of killing you?
you wouldn't kill me though. That's the
Yeah, I
thing.
would, bro.
Nah, you wouldn't, G.
I think if I hit you, when I'm upset,
you can
like,
hit me, bro.
I-
I can take a punch, bro.
I try.
Take a punch.
I try.
This would be Jake Paul versus Logan Paul. Bro.
At the time, Phil,
Wait,
I was
what?
super
Oh.
strong.
I was
I mean,
too.
Jake Paul
No,
versus Nate
at
Robinson.
the time, I was super
Bro,
strong.
at the time I was too. I was working out with Gabe at that time, so I was.
thinking that with Gabe. Doesn't mean strong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Fam, I've been getting
Who
hit.
is this guy, Gabe? You know, like no. But I
Bro, my
understand
brother
Gabe is strong.
No, my
But,
brother,
like,
my brother has been in the military. That's a sniper. Is bigger than you, and this
Oh,
nigga's been hitting me since I was 16.
he bigger than me?
He's bigger than you. Yes.
How big is he?
He's like 6'3", 300, bro. Now he's 300, but he was hit. He came out the military at 225.
Okay.
And this nigga's been hitting me since I was 16. I've been fighting my brothers since I was little. So I could
Alright.
take a
You
punch
still
from a
little.
bigger dude. So I wasn't like I was scared. Like if you see the video, I didn't back down. I'm laughing like you still ain't on no
You
hoes.
wasn't laughing.
All right, but the Chicago trip, round 1 was a classic.
That wasn't even the end though, because my favorite part of the
car
argument hasn't
scene.
even happened.
What
Because
happened?
I was obviously I was driving.
Yeah.
And
Phil
like they are
Phelps.
still
Oh, yeah.
they're still continuing to argue. And then at one point I'm like, guys, yo, I've had enough. Just like chill out. Like you guys are not gonna hear. Like I was
Yeah.
like, Brandon, you know Phil. Or I was trying to talk sense to Brandon. I was like, you know Phil is just drunk. He's just gonna keep saying that. He's making no points. Like don't talk to him no more.
Yeah.
And Brandon's like, all right. And then he was like, yeah, all right. But I was on host. I was like, all right, it's cool. Bro, Phil is falls asleep.
Dead asleep.
And dead asleep, just knocked out, dead to the world. Wakes up, Brandon, you wasn't on no host, and then right back to sleep. Bro, I lost it. I was like,
And
bro,
it started all over
I almost
again.
kicked Phil out. It started all
The whole fight
I was
started
like, Phil,
all
you got to
over
walk
again.
home or something. Like I'm not dealing with
Bro,
this
Phil
no more.
just wouldn't stop. Like it wasn't the point that he was saying you wasn't on the hose. That didn't bother me. It
That
was just
bothered
that
you.
he kept saying it. Like, I hate when people repeat stuff and it don't make no sense. And so he just kept saying it and knew that the repetition bothered me.
You want to know how I knew you wasn't on the host? Because I fell asleep and woke up and told you wasn't on the host.
That doesn't make no sense, bro.
It do.
Bro,
if I'm that
it
passionate
do.
about you not being no host and
Bro.
I dream about it and I
Okay,
wake up and go,
it's
you
all
wasn't
about
on the host.
quality over quantity.
To an extent, yes.
No, nigga, no, yes. It
No,
is.
to an extent.
It is.
It's not always.
You rather have quality
No,
over
because
quantity.
sometimes the quality you think is quality is not really quality. You just
Bro, what are you talking about?
your
This is
quality is
it.
not always quality.
I'm not talking about like the quantity of her weight, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Hey, you was on hose, my bad, bro. He was on the hose. All
Bro.
the hoes.
that's
Wait,
all
this-
I gotta say
this
is I don't have
groundbreaking.
to prove myself.
This is-
like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
I
Brandon.
This
This
has
is
never before
groundbreaking.
happened.
Phil's finally admitting that you were on hose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You was on all the hoes, bro. And
Nah, that's some sarcasm.
That
That's
was.
like, you know,
That
that's,
was-
like, that's
Nah,
some sarcasm.
nah, you
because
was- you was-
it don't, no, bro. Like,
bro,
literally,
you was on the hose,
literally,
but in the
it
moment,
it don't make no sense.
you
what
was
you're
on
saying.
bro. You was on the hose, and I was wrong again. I was wrong, and I'm
So-
sorry.
So a man was on his hose and women, and he was like giving you because he felt bad for you.
You didn't feel
And-
bad. Wait, time out. You didn't feel bad for me.
Yes,
'cause
I did. Why do you think I
no,
gave you the girls I was with?
you didn't give me shit.
Yes,
bro.
I did, bro. How
You
y'all got
in-
up in there?
You invited us in there. You didn't hand them off to me and be like, "Hey, yo."
Yes,
these-
I did. I literally
Yeah,
gave
you did.
Luke one.
You gave Luke.
He gave Luke one. He introduced, like, hey,
He
dude.
Yeah, I
introduced
introduced
us
that.
and
Here's
yeah.
my dog, Luke.
Okay, but like
Here's
he
this girl.
he
even-
definitely assisted. Like he
Yeah.
assisted.
No, I'm not saying he assisted for sure, but even when he assisted,
That's a
I
handoff.
left. You didn't give me none because I didn't get none. I'm saying you didn't give me none. You gave Luke some because he benefited.
It's not
from
your
it.
okay. If he throws you a good pass and you miss the shot, it ain't his fault.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. Thank you.
I
AJ.
left-
You
I left
are-
Dave-
He threw a lob.
He threw a lob to he threw a lob to us.
He
didn't
threw a
do
lob
nothing
to a
with it.
nigga that can't dunk.
Yeah.
Luke dunked.
Wait, time out. I dunked though. I dunked
When?
when I left.
Oh,
I
little
didn't-
tykes. Little tykes.
I was speaking in the
I
literal
left-
sense.
I
I wasn't
left they
speaking in
VIP,
this
went to other VIP
situation.
and got a
Oh,
number.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Like, but like to say the least, bro. We was up there.
I'm getting a
Nobody got
headache.
none. Nobody got none.
Nah,
Nobody got none. So like, so we was never on any hoes.
that's not true.
That is the truth because if
That's
All
not
right,
true.
wrap it
All
up.
right, that's
nobody
it.
Wrap it up.
Ding, 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 ding,
nobody
ding.
was on.
All right, so now that we off of that, we could talk about music. Today has been a big day, one of the bigger days
In Brandon's life.
music in recent history. And when I say recent history, I mean the last few weeks. Do we want to start or finish with Cuddy?
Let's finish with Cuddy. No, let's finish with Cuddy.
Finish with the greatest.
Okay. So a couple of niggas dropped today. I know what's his name?
Jack Harlow.
No. Fetty Wap. He dropped today. I didn't
wow.
listen to that.
Niggas still listen to Fetty Wap?
Yeah, I didn't listen to that. But Jack Harlow, the young white goat, he dropped today. Did y'all listen to Jack Harlow?
I don't think I've ever heard. I mean,
really
I might
don't
have heard
listen to
some.
him.
Bro,
poppin'?
yeah, he has this song "What's Poppin'."
I listened to his Tyler Hero song, and I was like, he reminds me of like he gives me Mac Miller vibes. but,
No.
like more like rapidy.
Nah,
Rapidy
he's
rap.
different than
Like
Mac Miller.
was like,
You can't trust Phil.
I'm saying like that's not true. Mac Miller was like laid back, but he was like he gave me Wiz vibes. I feel like Jack
Yeah.
Harlow gives me like that white rapper that slides on beats vibes.
No,
I don't know.
okay, so two things you said, one I agree with, one I don't agree with. So obviously a white rapper, but he floats on beats.
Yeah.
Like it's effortless to him when I listen to him rap. But when I think typical white rapper, I'm thinking like a bunch of lyrics, rhyming super fast, like Eminem. Like every white boy, Eminem is their idol, at least majority of them. So they all try to rap like super fast, like Machine Gun Kelly
Like
type
Yellow
shit.
Wolf?
Yeah, like Yellow Wolf, exactly. But Jack Harlow, there are times where he does rap fast, but it's not like every single beat. But he just rides the beat, super smooth, super cool. This album is dope. The Tyler Hero song, even though I heard it prior to the album dropping, that's probably my favorite song on the album. He has a song with Big Sean. I love that song as well. He has a song with Lil Baby that's super dope. But Jack Harlow, he's just cool. I heard about him a few years back. Y'all not gonna know who they are, but the 2K niggas like Julian and Tajula, they used to always post a song by him called "Pick Up the Phone" or something like that. And I remember I used to always see them post about it. I'm like, oh, let me check this dude out. And this might have been around 2017,
Oh, that early?
2016. Yeah. It might have been like 2017, 2018.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, I was just gonna say like that song, and even to this day, like I love that song. Like he has a good flow. It doesn't seem like he's trying too hard. And a lot of people, when they initially hear him, they don't even realize he a white dude, which I guess would be the case in a lot of white rappers' case. But he just a great rapper. This album is super dope. Honestly, I don't even know what it's called, but Jack Harlow, his album is super dope. And I know our boy E, he was super hype about it because Harlow's from not Lexington, Louisville. So obviously every Midwest and especially Kentucky white boy loves Jack Harlow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why he gives me Mac vibes, because like Mac didn't rap fast and he didn't fit the stereotypical white rapper.
Yeah.
So like Mac was like, he was actually like good. And he was very like he was good, but he had his own swag. Even though I felt like because of the Pittsburgh, like he grew up in Pittsburgh, he had the Wiz influence.
Yeah.
You could differentiate it. And so I feel like when I listen to Jack Harlow, it's the same thing. It's like, all right, he's cool for a white rapper, but he slides. He can actually rap, and he's not like you say, he's not trying too hard.
Yeah.
So when I hear him, I'm like, all right, I can get into it.
I feel like maybe it's just the songs that are instantly coming to mind, but I feel like Mac always kind of raps slower and had a super you knew his voice right away. His voice was very distinctual, whereas Jack Harlow maybe not so much the case. Like you might hear a song with him and be like, oh, I don't know who this is, if you know who Jack Harlow is. But he definitely raps a little bit faster than Mac, I feel. So I don't know if there's so much comparable to me, and this might be a wild take to a lot of people if they know who both artists are. But to me, he reminds me most of Drake, honestly. Just the way that how effortless it is for them to rhyme and like how they kind of come up with their own flows. Like to me, neither one are the most lyrical or the best rappers. But as far as flow goes, like I think they have the best flows.
And when I mention Mac, I'm not saying like they sound alike.
Yeah.
More so they comfortable being a white rapper.
Got you.
So like what Mac did well, it was like, yo, Mac, you knew Mac was like, hey, I'm good in my skin.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jack Harlow got that same swagger.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Tyler Hero swagger. Like, you know, he just a swagged out white dude. He know he a swagged out white dude.
Like, I'm just out here, bro.
I'm just a cool ass white dude. Like, I ain't trying to be this. I ain't trying to be the Migos. I ain't trying to be this. I'm trying to be me. Yeah. So that's why I respect his music. I haven't checked out his album. I'm gonna give it a listen. Just cause I'm gonna check him out. I usually don't check out a lot of white rappers. Like they just don't be on my radar like that.
That's racist.
It probably is, but I'm sorry.
Nah, I fought with Jack Harlow heavy, so definitely check out his album. But getting off of that, we can move to what Brandon's most excited about.
Silence for Brandon.
I'll let you take over this segment.
Following the void to avoid anything trying to break me down. Yo, the Kid Cudi album is super lit. So, in my opinion, first of all, like Kid Cudi's always like he's tethering that line of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just surreal. And his sound on every album is very different. So we start off with the beginning. Not the mixtape, we're talking about the albums. So we're talking about Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon was super dope, uplifting. It was dark. It just had its different acts about it. Then you jump into Man on the Moon 2, which is dark. It dives into a deep point of his life and everything like that.
It's my favorite album of his.
I love that album. Everybody likes that album. Like key songs on there were Ghost. Like that song was super.
Mr. Rager, Marijuana.
What? Ghost
Mojo.
and
There's a
Mr.
lot of
Rager are
Mojo So Dope. Those are my favorite.
But like I'm telling you, like when people think about Man on the Moon 2, they think about Ghost. A lot of people are saying things will.
Ghost is fire. Ghost is fire, but
like that whole song was really lit. Then you have the albums like going up to that, where like Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which were
it's different.
So a lot of people don't like that album. I actually love that album. That was like a really dope album. You have the WZRD album that he dropped.
I like that one.
You have Satellite Flight, and then you have Passion, Pain, and Demon Slain.
And you take off
And-
my mind, G.
Yo, yes,
And I love
Going to the
Passions and
ceremony.
Pains.
Yeah, Passion, Pain, and Demon Slain.
Is it
That was-
Passions and Pains. Yeah.
But yo, this sound on this album, it threw me for a loop. It caught me off guard at first. You know what I'm saying? When I first listened to it, because he's doing a lot of different things on there, like you said, with ad libs and like the beats and all that. Everything's like really, it's different. It's different.
Yeah,
It's
definitely
different. And, but that's him, so it should be a normal thing.
Yeah.
But it's still different.
He switches it up all the time.
So it's like you had to listen to it first of all, like listen to it just to listen to it, but then you go down and you analyze the lyrics and you realize that it's the same thing. It's just Cudi saying it in a different way
With a different
and-
sound.
Yeah, just with a slightly different sound. Like he's always been like verging like that, like you know,
Yeah.
like he's always touting that line of like, is it acceptable? Is it not acceptable? Like, what is this? Like kind of thing. And I feel like it's a lot of influence of what's going on in the new age of like rap.
Yeah.
But still keeping it remaining the same of what his core principles are.
Yeah.
And so when you listen to like the lyrics, like you're just like, wow, this is still Cudi.
So
And-
it's funny to hear you say that the lyrics were the same, but the sound was different. Because for me, and I don't know if Phil feels this way, as just the general fan, my ear, it sound like I wasn't rushing to hear this album because I knew exactly what I was going to get. I wanted to hear Jack Harlow first because I had no idea what to expect. And when I listened to this, I'm like, okay, this is what I was expecting, but it was a dope album. I didn't think that it sounded different than anything I've heard before from Cudi outside of the Pop Smoke song. That was a little bit different sounding.
Tequila shots too.
Yeah.
Tequila shots, yeah.
There was a lot. You can continue. My fault.
And
Nah,
She
you're good.
Knows-
I was just
She
trying
Knows This
to.
was different too.
I was just trying to
Definitely.
remember which song that was. I'm gonna.
It was the
have to-
first. It was the first.
Yeah. I
real
know it's
song
early in
yeah.
the album, but I couldn't remember what it sounded like. But for me, it sounded similar to everything I've heard from Cudi in the past, and I'm not saying that in a negative way at all. I love the album. But I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking or new. But to someone that's a Kid Cudi fanatic, you probably have a different ear than me, AJ, and Phil that aren't as big into Cudi as you are.
I'm pretty big into Cudi though.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
gonna say-
over
Well, me.
50 hours just for the year.
Go ahead.
on
AJ,
my Apple
I can go
Music.
last.
So
No, I definitely thought it was different, and like the way he started it off was like it was still the same Cudi, same sound, but the beats and
yeah,
everything was like it was
more
more it was more up tempo, more like it was a little bit. I mean, he always has a lot of bass and heavy hitting, but a more hip hop feel than rather his like electronic hip hop kind of
Yeah.
style that
Soulful
he usually is.
kinda.
Or, yeah, soulful too. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, he still has some of that, and later on in the album, it kind of progressed that way, which is what you usually expect from a Cudi album. But yeah, I thought it was dope. I like the switch up, and like you said, there's a lot of influence from what's going on in today's rap. I can definitely hear some Travis in there. He had Pop
Yeah.
Smoke on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to Brandon before we walked in. I was like, yeah, I think Travis
Was
definitely
Kanye
touched
on
a couple beats on there.
On what song was it? It did sound like Kanye was on it on what She Knows or some shit. It was
She
called.
knows
Okay.
this.
She Knows This. It did. It sounded like Kanye to me, but
It was Will Smith on there. Oh,
Was it?
If you watched the premiere, I stayed up and watched the premiere, and Will Smith was on that. Like you know,
maybe it's Will Smith's voice then.
Yeah,
'Cause
Will
to
Smith
me-
was talking to him, and then like you know he's like
No, it's
"What are
like
you doing
on
this
the
couch, nigga?"
on the chorus where it's like saying she knows this or whatever. It sounded like Kanye to me,
No,
but
I
I was
didn't-
like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
100%.
off the top, or like just off of like a listen or a listen and a half. Tequila Shots, Damaged, Sad People, and The Void are probably like my top songs so far.
Phil,
So I have to
what's
listen through all of them or listen to them again individually. But
Phil, what's your top songs on the album?
Let me get to that. So I'll say I'm not a Cudi fanatic. Like for Brandon, Cudi's probably like one of his top artists. For me,
Is
I,
his
Yo,
top artist.
he's so much my top artist, bro. We share the same birthday.
that's fair. Like
Like,
for
you know,
me,
that's just it.
I'm not like Brandon, but I fucks with Cudi heavy, and primarily because like when Cudi got big, he's from the Midwest, And so y'all know how I feel about Midwest artists. Like I always rep the Midwest.
Toledo alumni.
Like I rep Midwest artists, and so I've fucked with Cudi since what was that mixtape he had before?
Cleveland is the reason.
Yeah, Cleveland is the reason. So I've been following his career. I like him a lot, and I used to be a stoner, so you know, like he resonates with me. Yeah. So listening to this album, for me, Man on the Moon 2 is my favorite Cudi album, and his Man on the Moon albums, period, are his best albums to me. And so my expectations was usually when artists get there late in their career, when they try to build on those previous albums, a lot of times I get disappointed. So like the Port of Miami 2, like for instance, like it was great, but it wasn't like it was good.
Yeah.
Whereas like this one, I'm on 2 listens and I'm like, all right, I like this album a lot. And I like it for the fact, even though Cudi trying different sounds, he has the same elements of why I liked his previous album. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what he did really well in his album. So for me, I like Dark Cudi. Yeah. I love Dark Cudi, and I love humming.
It's real.
Like
you feel it.
You feel it. It's different.
Everybody loves the hums.
And so like after I feel like after like She Knows This, and like once you get to like track 5 and start going down, he gets into dark Cudi, with the exception of like Show Out with Pop Smoke. Yeah. And I actually think that song bangs. Like he fused that New York drill sound really well. Yeah. So I like this album because he does typical Cudi stuff.
Dot the Genius.
You playing music right now, bro. You trying to get us demonetized.
So he does a really good job of experimenting like he usually does on every album. He has those trippy beats. He has those galactic sounds. But I think he got back to his roots and got dark again.
He built on it.
He got back to being dark. So some of my favorite songs are Dive, Damaged, Sad People, Elsie's Baby, September 16th.
Oh, yeah, Elsie's Baby.
Yeah, right. Elsie's Baby. I'm a sucker for guitars. So once I heard that guitar riff solo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, in the very beginning, I was like, ooh, this shit about to be amazing. And I was not disappointed. Who is Elsie? Is that his mom?
I don't know.
Elsie's his mom? Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I think so. Yeah. I never knew her name, but like one could infer that is his mom.
But the place and space that you listen to this song definitely affects how matters, you... Yeah, yes. Because earlier I was listening to it in the house. Then I listened to it in the car on the way to the gym with Tatiana. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it yet. But then on the way here, dark, on the highway, speeding, it's misting outside. I'm like, hey, this shit. And it's in the car as well. Like listening.
In the car, it sounds so different.
And that was my first listen in the car. You have to listen to albums in the car. Like you got to get the feel of it.
Yeah.
And so like I had that 4-hour drive back home. And on the way there, I'm listening to it, and it was sunny, and it was sunny, and it was the beginning of my ride, so it was cool. And I was like, all right, I like it, but I didn't really get into it until the sun went down.
Yeah.
And so as the sun's down, I'm riding. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking with this.
Yeah. Yeah, like at first, like it caught me off guard. I'm not even gonna lie, but like I said, tequila shots is always it's a vibe. It's a fucking vibe. Yeah. Like straight up, my Twitter, it's a vibe.
Oh, what's the other feature you had? I really like that song too. Sorry to cut you off.
Show Out Pop Smoke or Trippie Red?
It was
Trippie Red, Rockstar Nights.
Nah, damn, they must have changed how this looked. No. With Phoebe Bridges, Loving Me.
Yeah,
I really like that
when
song.
With Phoebe.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Whenever I get a lot of Cudi hymns.
You gotta blast it too.
Hymns.
Yeah.
When he's humming,
hymns.
Hymns. Volume has to be at the max.
Yeah, facts.
That's the best Cudi for me. So like I said, some of my favorite songs are like Mojo So Dope. Yeah. Marijuana is like.
Marijuana.
But as much as I love the humming, it was the last album too. Passions and Pains, his last album. I was disappointed not to get a white boy EDM, all the crazy shit I did tonight. Like I want one of those per album.
Memories.
Like that song, I fucking love that song, bro. It just makes me think of Project X and shit. Like I love that song.
I feel like his best beat selections are like the galactic type beats.
Yeah. so
Because it's such a unique sound, you don't get that anywhere else.
You can't.
Yeah, shouts out to Dot Genius and all the niggas who worked on his other albums. But like, yeah, man, it's like, bro, his music, like I'm a super fan. I can't even form words when I talk about his music. Like shit just goes all out the window.
What would you do if you ever met Kid Cudi, bro?
If I ever met Kid Cudi, bro, I was damn near close when I was in general admissions.
Have you seen him in concert?
Bro, I was like a deer in headlights. I was like,
oh, you seen him in concert?
yeah, I was in general
Yeah, we saw him at
admissions,
concert.
bro.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm saying, which concert did you see?
Was it Passion? It was Passion, Pain, Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I think I saw him at.
Bro, he looked at me for like 2 seconds because I had blonde hair back then, so that probably made me stood out from everybody. I'm nigga with blonde hair, and he was like,
"Oh, Indica was really lit."
I was just like, "I love you, man," and like you know, what I'm saying as me being a person. So like, just tell you a little backstory about myself. Like,
things aliens would say. Me as a person.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was a depressed youth at the time, and when Kid Cudi came out, like you know what I'm saying, like it was just like, yo, this. I feel these things, you know what I'm saying? And so it was like a revelation, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt like, all right, you know what I'm saying? If he could get through it and like be successful and all this, I can get through it. And so that's where I really like locked on and was like, yo, and then I didn't find out till like a year or two later that we had the same birthday and everything like that, just like a few years apart. But like everything he came out with like was like right on time, and it was like how exactly I was feeling.
Yeah.
So I always rocked with Kid Cudi all the time. This new album, to get back to this album, because we won't talk about the other stuff, but like it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. I stayed up like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, even though I had work, and I was just listening to it, and I was like songs on repeat just to like totally get the grasp of it. Like they said, Tequila Shots is a really, really good one. I'm just have to go back because I don't know all the names. Mr. Solo Dolo Part 3. Solo Dolo Part 1 was like, dope. I cried so much at Solo Dolo Part 1. And then when Solo Dolo Part 3 came out, it was, yeah, man. I cried. She Knows This was the premiere when it premiered on YouTube. It was pretty cool. I love that. Dive and Damage are also dope. Heaven on Earth is pretty good. Show Out's really good with Pop Smoke and all that. Like I said, it's a different sound, and it's just like, it resonates still. Sad People
That's
is
a good
really
song
fucking
too.
dope, really dope. And I was like, damn, I can go to sleep on this, but I was like, I gotta stay up. I gotta be strong. Then I hear Elsie's Baby Boy and a nigga about to cry again, and then you know what I'm saying, you get to The Void. And it's like, I will fall in the void, to avoid anything. Bro, I was like, bro, I was crying. I was crying. And at the end of that song, bro, when he's like just talking, bro, talking about God and all that. And I was like, damn, like, yo, this, you know what this sounds like, bro? Sounds like this nigga's like about to go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounded like to me. It just sounded like he was like ready to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ready to like pass on. And I was like, this is like some shit you say like with hope, but you know you going. And so I was like, dog, this nigga die tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I dead ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
2020 has been a terrible year, but let's definitely not hope.
Like God forbid, like all that. And then Lord, I Know, like, you know, and he had his daughter on there saying like to be continued. I was like,
I feel like a lot of his music though has that death feeling. It's like one of my favorite songs from him is
like Coming to an End.
Yeah, like he makes it sound good.
Like
I done tried it all, yeah, I done tried it all. I can't stop this internal bleeding. And my heart is leaking out. I tried it all. Yo. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That song put me to a
that
couple
got me through
tears.
my heartbreak. So like I said, I love Cudi, not to the extent of Brandon, but he's definitely like he's one of the artists.
Brandon loves him so much that like he'll listen to a song and just come up with an entire music video concept. It'll be the dopest music video concept you'll ever think of in your life. Like,
Brandon is
I'm like, yo, I don't know how we got to get this, or we got to get Brandon in front of Cudi so he can hear
I got ideas a lot.
These music video, like these are like cinematic, like movie type music videos. I was, like going to the ceremony. That's probably my favorite one you've ever told me. Yeah, but it also has that same feeling. You like it's coming to an end, kind kind of vibe to it. But
Yeah, Cuddy, bro. Like, I got a lot of ideas, and your music makes me feel certain ways, and like, shots, like, hit me up.
if you hear this, hit us up.
Too.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Trouble
just
Boy's
dark.
pretty good. I think so. Now we're talking about Cuddy. I gotta say, like my favorite songs, which I don't have a favorite song. They're all of them, but
Just in general, or on the album you talking about?
just in like in general, like the songs that literally affected me was Ghost. Ghost was a very big one for me. Mr. Rager was also a big one. That's off Man on the Moon too.
Yeah.
Soundtrack to My Life on Man on the Moon 1.
That's fire.
Fucking like the moon would illuminate my room, and soon I'm consumed by my doom.
These
Like,
worries
bro,
with Mary J. Blige too.
I ain't never cried so damn much in my motherfucking life.
Cuddy got hits. I'm like looking through the track list on some of his
He's
stuff.
a lyricist. Like people
got
always say, like,
hits.
"Oh, yo, that nigga's a lyricist." Like the way he strings these words and stuff together, and like they. So it really reminds me. I'm very a big fan of like older music.
Yeah.
And like they're telling you a story, and like you can feel the emotions through their songs. And Cuddy, like you can feel the emotions, like even if it's just a simple like you understand, like damn, that nigga feel like that. Like you feel it through the music. And like I said, Speeding Bullet to Heaven was I think it's probably one of my favorite like grouping of songs because of the time it came out and what I was going through, like that. Like, I still listen to Speeding Bullet to Heaven. Like, whenever I get down, like, the angels have no whiskey.
I also think because it has so many rock beats, you resonate with that more because you just like you like more rock music too.
But it was super emotional. And that's the thing about it. It was like just raw emotion, like kind of like on the lines of like Kurt Cobain, like dealing with like Nirvana. I don't know if you guys are big Nirvana fans, but like I'm a big Nirvana fan, and
my favorite songs off that album is Adventures and Fuchsia Butterflies. I love Fuchsia Butterflies.
Yeah, I think Anomaly is one of my favorites on there. Fuchsia Butterflies is pretty good. Melting is really good. I like the whole overall sound of it and everything, and then like the words strung together. Like, no doubt about it, I'm melting. Ooh,
Hey man,
I'm
get you a spliff, get you a J, roll it up.
Yeah, like all right.
Sit in a room by yourself
In the dark.
with
He
some
has to be in the
dim
dark.
lights.
Yeah, like-
I'm serious, with some dim lights and some candles. And if you're going through some shit like that spliff, play some cuds, and you're gonna wake up feeling good about
You're
yourself.
gonna feel better, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're ready, if you're confident, like you can deal with your emotions. Like I say, listen to Cuddy and let it all flow out, and you understand, like, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? And when he's like, "I am your big brother," I really feel like Cuddy's my big brother, and like he's helped me through some dark times, and like I said, Cuddy saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So like,
So last thing on music, I want to talk about the Verzuz battle that's taking place tomorrow night. We got Monica, or what the fuck am I saying? Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
Who's Monica?
She's who went against Brandy. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I said Monica. But Keisha Cole and Ashanti. What y'all think?
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Excuse me. I think I rock more with Keisha Cole, but I think Ashanti has more hits because of Murder Inc.
Yeah, bro. Honestly,
but I rock more with Keisha Cole, so I probably would think she would win more.
So anytime I think it's a blowout, like everyone else completely disagrees with me. I think Ashanti like runs away with this from exactly what you said. She has so many songs with Ja Rule. What's her name? Jenny from the Block. What's her name?
J-Lo.
J-Lo. Yeah, I don't know
Jenny
why.
from the Block.
I don't
What's her
know
name?
why I
Jennifer
blanked out on her
Lopez?
name.
You could've just
Jennifer
said Jenny.
Lopez and Murder Inc.
Murder
like,
Inc.,
this shit is not a fair comparison. Keisha Cole, of course, has bangers.
Yeah.
Like, she got the song with Missy Elliott and whatnot, but I don't know.
where this goes.
I don't know, bro. Like,
I think Ashanti will win. I don't know how close it'd be. If I had to guess, it'd probably be like out of 20 songs, I would say Ashanti might get her 12 to 8.
Oh damn.
12 to 8. Because
Wait.
Keisha got some. Is that 20? 12 to 8?
Yeah, that's 20.
Yeah, make sure.
you'll okay. Sorry.
Like,
sorry,
she'll
sorry.
Like
You'll
she'll
think-
win 12
to 8.
and lose 8.
So I think
Gotcha.
like Keisha will give her a run for her money because Keisha got some bangers.
She
I
does.
think so too. but Ashanti was more out there because of Murder Inc. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like she's more into mainstream.
I don't know if
Keisha,
she was more out there,
I'm rocking with Keisha. Just say that
personally, yeah.
I had a crush on her. But yeah, I had a crush on both.
You had a
of
crush
them.
on Keisha Cole?
Both of them.
Keisha Cole was cute.
She was
Both of
she
them.
was cute, but
Never
she wasn't
knew
like a
what
heartthrob.
I
Bro,
was
you said
thinking.
fucking what's her name? The Republican bitch was attractive.
Candace Owens.
Candace
that's right.
Owens. You said she was attractive.
No,
I
I'm
don't-
saying
You
Keisha
gonna
Cole
say,
is.
you gonna say that about Keisha?
No, I'm saying Keisha Cole
I'll
is
fight you
cute.
right now.
Keisha Cole was like, I don't know, maybe it's because the other R&B singers out at that time, like when Keisha Cole was hot, Alicia Keys was on fire, and so to me, Alicia
Keisha
Keys
Cole.
was the baddest. In the
Keisha
game.
Cole was a little bit after Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, she's fine. Like Keisha got it, but she wasn't
Maybe like 5
Keisha
years or
Keisha
so.
was good. She was
Yeah.
good looking. Ashanti was good looking.
You know
to
who
me
I want to
too,
see on
but,
Versus though?
Who?
Mary J.
Bro,
I don't know
that's
who
true.
you put her
Versus who?
against. I don't know.
Honestly, I always think
Missy
like
Elliott,
I
maybe?
hate
Nah,
Mary J.
Erykah Badu.
Blige.
Nah, you tripping.
I always think that I don't like Mary J. Blige until I hear
Eve.
Mary
Put her
J.
against Eve.
No, that wouldn't
Nah,
be.
she'd watch
No,
Eve.
she
Yeah,
would.
she would
Yeah,
kill
she
her,
would
I ain't
watch
gonna
it.
You gotta put Mary J against.
All I
like-
know is love is blind.
Bro, she has so many
It is
goddamn
so-
bangers.
yeah,
And her features, she's like
on
100% on features.
Except for on
She never
Kendrick's
misses
album,
on
I
features.
always skip that song.
Oh.
On Good Kid, Mad City. I forget what
She's
song.
actually on Cuddy's album too. With These Words.
Is she?
Yeah, she's on every.
These
She worked with
worries.
everybody.
So Marshall.
I don't think there's no one that you could put Mary J against fairly.
Fairly, yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you would only like you. It's
Life is
you can't put Beyonce with her because she's pre-Beyonce.
Yeah.
And there's no one like in her generation that has that longevity that's worked with everybody.
Yeah.
It's weird. She's in that weird space.
The only, and I just mentioned her. The only person I can think of that has the catalog, but they're different genres, is Missy Elliott.
that's
Like-
what I said. Like, yeah, I was like, that's the only
I
like.
kind of agree.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said that?
He said
I
that,
said
yeah.
it. He was like, no, don't.
No, you can't do like you. It's too different. You can, but you can't because it's R&B and it's hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word it. Let me word.
That's two different genres. You
It
know?
is right. That's
Yeah.
but that's the only person I thought could be on the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
playing field.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
level.
only
She's
person
literally-
that's
I'd like to
catalog.
see-
She's in that like that gap. That like yeah. It's
I like to see Missy versus Nicki. Or, like,
Missy
one
would
of-
fucking
so.
wash her, bro.
I don't know. Nicki got heads, G.
The whole niggas like versus.
I mean, I personally was never a fan
I'd be so
of Nicki,
annoyed.
you
Bro,
know what I'm
I
saying?
hate Nicki. Anytime she's featured on something, I instantly
She
skip
was
over it.
she was lit on what's your favorite album? Yeah, what
My
song was that?
anaconda
Monster.
don't.
Oh, Monster.
My anaconda
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
live
yeah,
on
yeah,
Monster.
yeah. She
live
was.
on that.
Nah, but pre blow up Nicki, like Nicki was rapping her ass off when she was with Gucci. So
I like R&B Nicki when she's singing, even though she can't really sing. I
Really?
don't want to hear Nicki rapping. This
Nicki
shit's
rapping will
annoying.
rap circles around some niggas. Like she can rap her ass off. It wasn't until she started doing like the stupid ass voice that I don't like.
Roman?
Yeah.
Oh, she was like
Yeah.
Roman.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Like, you know what I'm saying? She got that like Lil Wayne.
She did that
she
like
went
that Tyler the
mainstream,
Creator
yeah.
kind of thing. Like,
I
you
think
know
you're
what
talking
I'm
about
saying? Switching
that.
personalities and all that.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you could do a versus of Mary J versus Mary J. New Mary J versus old Mary J. I don't know. I would love to see Mary J in the battle, like versus anybody. I don't care if she watches them or not. Like she would
Yeah.
obviously watch them, but I just want to just reminisce and jam
What
out to some
about-
Mary J for 2
What
hours.
about? I would love to see Lauryn Hill go against somebody, but I don't know. I can't even.
You could
think about
do you
Lauren Hill, Mary J wouldn't be that
wouldn't be
bad.
that far off.
it. Lauryn Hill is fucking.
Ah,
She
that's
wins.
actually,
That's actually not bad at
yeah,
all.
that's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's
Yeah,
actually a good
that's
battle.
not bad.
I
Mary
still
J,
think
Lauryn
Mary
Hill?
J runs away with that.
No.
I know.
Runaway, no. I
Okay,
think-
sorry.
No.
Runaway wasn't
Guys.
Bro, you
what
gotta
I.
stop smoking
Sorry,
crack,
sorry.
bro.
Sorry.
Runaway isn't exactly what I meant, but I think Mary J
Beats her.
No.
wins. Yes.
Nobody beats Lauren.
No,
Bro,
Mary J
I don't
beats
think
Mary.
you
It's the
realize how many
mystery
Mary
of
J has
iniquity.
hits on hits on hits.
Yo, Lauren has a lot of hits, but like
She
I feel
does.
like
I'm
we were
not.
so young that we don't understand. Like those songs are banging.
Yes,
Nah,
I
I
understand,
understand
bro.
Well,
We
yo,
old.
oh yeah, I forgot.
So
Y'all
we
niggas
old.
like
Y'all niggas
40.
old.
Y'all
I
niggas
understand
40.
it, but I'm saying because Mary J has longevity, she's been charting for like 20 years.
Yeah,
Whereas Lauren only had like a 5-10 year run.
yeah.
So
Mary J still making
like,
music to this day.
Exactly. That bangs.
To this day.
So if she pulls out her
this
features,
day.
she can pull out some Kendrick features, some
Yeah.
Jay features,
Cudi
some
features.
Cudi features.
I don't even
some
think
Cole
features
probably.
should count. I think you should have like your overall song.
Nah, I
That's
want
what
to
think.
hear
I
the
think features is
features.
bullshit.
I want to hear the features in a verses.
Because if you have a super lit verse on a feature,
yeah. Sometimes your features is better than the artist. So yeah, your features matter.
I mean, I'm always stick with Lauryn Hill because like Lauren's my baby, and that was like my first crush.
Because what did I say during Jeezy and Gucci? I said all I wanted to hear is Steady Mobbin'. Like that's all I wanted to hear.
Lauren, if you're watching,
he did. I feel like that was his worst song too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it, but you like Wayne a lot.
Yeah,
nah, Steady Mobbin'.
It was lit back then, but like listen to it now, I'm like,
no,
it
bro,
still
goes in. It still goes in.
I don't know. For me, Steady Mobbin' was one of Wayne's. Nah, because maybe you didn't feel it. I don't know if you felt the impact of Steady Mobbin'.
Who does Cuddy go against in a versus battle? Tyler. That's the only person I could think.
Tyler,
I think
the creator.
Tyler.
Yeah.
But they're so different too. That's like the same thing you're saying with Missy and Mary J.
They're pretty different, but they're more similar than Missy and Mary J.
I mean, Tyler and Cuddy.
And those are two of your favorites
too. You could do Cuddy
too.
and Wiz probably.
I ain't no fucking Kid Cudi because all my
Kid
fans
Cudi's
love
gonna smack Wiz.
Tyler
I think Kid Cudi runs away with Wiz.
Tyler said
think
that
he
one
smokes
time.
Wiz.
Who?
Wiz is good, but I feel
Wiz
like
smokes Cuddy.
I don't think.
You think Wiz?
I think
Wiz smokes Cuddy?
Bro, you're out of your mind.
Yo, you are smoking.
Y'all sleep on Wiz.
Yo, he been in Florida too long. He on that Flocka.
Nah, y'all sleep on Wiz, bro.
Oh wait, so who are we gonna put Tyler against?
Black and Yellow is the only song that I don't think beats any, or that doesn't lose to anything.
Who are you gonna put Tyler against?
Eminem and Kid Cudi are like the only two people I could really see.
So yeah, we got cut off for a second, but for that versus battle, I thought what's his name? Tyler the Creator, and then Tyler the Creator versus ASAP would have been cool, and we all agree. We got cut off with the recorder, but an even better topic came up back on the Wiz versus Kid Cudi versus battle, or potential one, or just like stuff we're thinking about. We posed the question. Not we posed the question, but Phil argued that because he was on the side of Wiz Khalifa beating Kid Cudi in a versus. Phil was on the side of saying that Wiz Khalifa was more influential and a more influential artist. In was it in general or?
It was in general. Yeah.
In general, than Kid Cudi, and he brought up your points were what? You brought up him making Chuck's popular again.
Well, so for me,
go ahead.
What I said initially was Wiz influenced the whole generation of stoners, and Brandon was like,
"Who are the other stoner rappers that are out now?"
Famous stoner rappers are
Mac Miller,
Snoop. Mac Miller was influenced.
He influenced Snoop.
I'm saying I was starting from the top.
Oh,
like,
he said
historically.
Okay, but I'm saying
like stoner rappers now.
Wiz influence. I'm asking who did Wiz influence outside of Mac Miller.
I mean, again, when I think of influence, I'm not just talking about he influenced the rap. Like all these niggas is smoking weed, like they smoking weed and smoking papers because of Wiz.
Because of him,
bro.
I don't know if it's because
Cap.
As a smoker that smoked blunts,
Cap.
I literally stopped smoking blunts and went to papers because of Wiz.
Cap.
And that was like when I was smoking. Like, I don't smoke no more, but when I was smoking in college, that's not cap, because this is 2011, 10 or whatever, when How Fly mixtape was out, when Wiz was on top.
Yeah.
And so I looked at Brandon. I go, Brandon, bro, you have a gold strip in your hair because of Wiz Khalifa.
Time out.
No, I don't have a gold strip in my hair.
I'm gonna let you finish. But the part about you saying he influenced those people to smoke, I feel like people were smoking regardless.
Yeah.
They just were more upfront about it and like, all right, he's rapping about it, it's cool. I'm just gonna own it also.
No, it wasn't.
Bro, first off, before you even attack me about a gold strip in my hair, bro, have you ever watched the fucking movie Meteor Man, bro? When them niggas had gold hair in there? That was when I was like, yo, I watched that movie and I was like, I want to have gold hair. And I always dyed my hair before Wiz even came out. When I was 11, there's a picture of me with golden hair because I dyed my hair because I want to be like the Meteor Man.
Your whole hair gold.
And listen, and you can't even say, oh, it's because of Wiz. Motherfucking Rufio in the Hook movie had a fucking strip in his hair and it was red. So you can't say that, bro. You can't say it's all because of Wiz,
okay,
bro.
listen,
Brandon
listen.
does like Rufio a lot.
Bro, you can't put the man piece in your mouth and just come out here and say this
Don't
like,
disrespect
weird
me
shit,
like
bro.
that. If we keeping it a bean, let's keep it a bean.
You can't.
Who made it cool to put that damn gold strip in your hair?
That was Wiz.
Who made it cool?
Yo, it was
wait, let me finish, bro.
Then,
no,
bro.
it was not,
You
bro.
always take a style that's already been there, bro.
Wait, okay, hold on.
We're not saying it wasn't a thing, bro.
I'm not saying it wasn't cool, but
Wiz like influenced everybody. Like we watching the Lakers Clippers now. This nigga Dennis Schroeder had a golden patch in his hair because of Wiz.
That was Wiz?
Yes,
The
that was
patch?
Wiz.
Wiz had a patch. I had a patch. From
He
Wiz
made that patch
popular.
popular. He made Chucks and camo shorts and Chuck Taylors popular again.
But has the patch never occurred before then?
It's not about making.
No. Has it never occurred?
I've never seen.
I've never seen it
patch.
before.
I thought I saw it before, but I can't remember what I saw.
Rufio had a patch in his head and it was
I've
red.
never
Just
seen-
because of the color was different doesn't mean like the patch and the
Bro,
coloring was
that
not
matters, bro.
But we're saying we've never seen just regular
Niggas just in the hood with a patch of red in their hair.
Because you guys haven't lived long enough.
We older than you.
Yeah, but exactly, you haven't lived long enough. David Bowie and all them were dyeing their hair when it was like, okay,
Brandon,
you can't be
in
doing
this
this stuff.
general argument, I'm on your side, but on this specific one, you're wrong.
How am I wrong?
It was definitely, maybe there was niggas here and there that might have had a patch in their hair because of Rufio. But in general,
no, it's not just because of Rufio. I'm saying like this has happened before, but
He's
people are
saying
picking
dyeing
up
of
the
hair.
same styles
Yes.
from back then.
But Wiz, when every
He made
nigga,
it popular. I'm agree with you.
Yeah.
He made it popular in this time frame that we're existing. Yes.
Yeah.
But like this has been going on for years. People have retaken the same styles
Again,
of older.
everything gets recycled. I'm not saying it never happened. I'm saying who made it popular. If we talking about impact, granted,
but
Cudi might be.
say
wait.
who made it popular in this time frame?
No, bro.
No,
Who brought it-
yes, because you. So there's two different arguments going on right now.
It's not.
And I'm trying to specify what you're saying. So you're saying
Specify what he's saying.
yeah. So like from the 2009, 2008 period and this period, Wiz got it in this time frame. He made it back popular. That's what I want you to say. I don't want you to say like Wiz was the god. He came down in 24 BC and said the gold strip in his hair. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like,
But we
not
talking
splitting hairs, but you.
No, we talking.
But you were saying like he started it.
Yeah,
And Brandon's
like,
like, well, he didn't
he's
start it.
not-
really.
Okay,
started.
nothing ever gets started within 2000s and later. Everything gets recycled. So let's throw that out the window. But we
Right.
talking impact
We're talking-
versus
yeah.
influence. Now, Cudi might be more influential musically, but when I think of impact, as an artist, Wiz has been more impactful than Kid Cudi, in my opinion. And I fuck with Cudi. If we talking style, if we talking even Cudi being a stoner, he wasn't as impactful as Wiz being a stoner. Like Wiz, I don't know if y'all remember this, but Snoop was carrying like that the hippie, the stoner rappers. Wiz took that over and brought in a whole generation of like making it cool to be high. Wiz brought in making it cool to vlog, like vlogging before it was
he
cool.
And yes,
Being on Twitter,
well,
like
listen. Brandon's probably gonna disagree with this, but being fully tatted, like Wiz, I feel like he brought in the wave of like having the full arm sleeves, having the full leg sleeves,
Yes,
like
I
fully
agree with
tatted.
that. I agree with that.
Before Allen Iverson, no.
There were definitely niggas like that,
it was
but
him, Wayne, but like Wiz definitely was like
But he
ink my whole body.
he
Like the
sparked
nigga made a whole
madness
shirt,
of the
whole song,
thing.
yeah.
a whole song,
Through a
like
song.
ink my whole body. I don't give
I
like
agree
niggas.
with that.
People grew up on that and just started to ink themselves out because Wiz had that bravado about
But
himself.
people
the
were
attitude.
inking themselves out before, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like
So,
he just made it cooler for the newer
He
generation.
just made a song about it, really.
Yeah, that's
Like,
all that it
the-
was. He brought more attention to it. That's it.
Yeah.
But it was already happening. So
I'm saying-
you're saying it's like he's the most influential in all this, but he's really not. He just bringing more attention to
No,
that.
I said
that
the most
thing.
impactful. I told you,
But he's not.
He
That's
is.
You
not.
said influential earlier before
and I
we were
switched and said
recording.
he had the most impact because I said musically, I think Cudi
Regardless-
has more of a musical influence than Wiz Khalifa.
You're just keep both impact because
If
now
it's-
you're trying to
if it's
say
just-
influence versus impact.
No, if it's
Cudi
just-
has a bit of more is more impactful musically also.
I
than
think
Wiz.
he's more impactful musically. I don't think pop culture wise he's not.
Okay, pop culture maybe.
He's
but
not.
I think his music his impact in music or influence in music way outweighs Cudi's impact in pop culture.
Khalifa's.
Or yeah, what did I say? I said Wiz
Cudi's.
Cudi.
Yeah, you just said Cudi.
Oh, okay. Wiz Khalifa's impact in culture. Because a lot of that, and especially because a lot of that stuff died. People don't wear Chucks as much anymore. People not doing the same stuff that they.
Yeah,
that
they
you-
fucking
Yeah,
went,
but-
they
but-
went,
but-
didn't they go? They went bankrupt.
And
But
people still wearing
but
chucks,
Wiz
but it's
also
not niggas.
Wiz
right,
was-
and people wearing Chucks like in California.
But yeah,
like,
Wiz
high top
Bro,
chucks,
but
and it's all
but-
white girls.
But when
But
Cudi
Wiz
was
was
coming
also
out,
all
Cudi
white
was
girls.
always talking about his dirty chucks, wearing his dirty chucks and all that. It just like, okay, yeah, Wiz always like busted it out on every single song and all that.
Yeah.
But Cudi would just talk about
You
it,
can-
saying he's wearing his dirty chucks and all that.
The thing with Wiz is he just made a song about a lot of this stuff.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
saying we could talk about
and it's
it.
great marketing like strategy to target these things, these avenues, and have people like
Yes,
go
but we
for
can
that.
we can me and you can talk about the same thing. But if more people are doing it because I'm doing it, that makes me more impactful. Whether you did it first or whether you did it after, or whether we did it at the same time. But if niggas start wearing fucking black tees, and me and Brandon been wearing black tees for 20 years, and niggas like, I'm wearing black tees because of Phil. Well, black tees, I'm making black tees more impactful because I'm putting it in my music and people want to do it because they see me do it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's impactful. But
So that's what I'm saying. He has more
has-
pop
doesn't-
culture
oh,
impact than
okay, pop
Cudi.
culture maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Big
And that's all I was
Sean-
arguing.
Big Sean brought back snapbacks.
No,
Like, he wasn't the one that like invented snapbacks or started wearing snapbacks, but once he came in the game, was wearing like the Tisa snapback hats. Like everyone started wearing snapbacks, and that was Big Sean. Like that's not up for debate.
Skinny
But-
jeans.
Wiz been in them skinnies.
Cudi been in them skinnies.
yeah, Cudi, I mean,
That's
Cudi is,
debatable.
so, I mean,
Cudi,
I think
Cudi-
Cudi
everybody was making
influenced.
fun
I
of him
think
'cause he
Cudi
was wearing tight
influenced
jeans.
Wiz. So it's kind of just like the chicken or the egg type
Yeah.
argument right now. But yes, Wiz Khalifa was rapping about it, and
I think
his songs were popular. So yeah, people are probably doing it. But he had a more impactful pop culture, but impact music wise and in general. Like if you just
Yeah,
if you
it's
just
Cudi.
weigh, if you can put a mass on both their
Who-
impacts,
who-
Kid Cudi has a way
Do
bigger
you-
impact.
Do
Which
you
is what
hear
we were
anybody
arguing.
ever say?
I don't think he
Wiz
does,
Khalifa saved my life. You have a whole generation of people motherfuckers saying Kid Cudi saved my
mean,
life.
you
But you
only
have a whole
person-
generation.
I think your life is worth more than
Well,
your chucks.
why you yelling?
You
You
the
have a whole
only-
generation that says I smoke weed because of Wiz.
No, but like
Brandon's
this-
the only person I've heard say that. Kid
I've
Cudi
heard
said
a
that.
ton of people say that.
what?
you-
Say what?
That
Kid
you-
Cudi saved
Kid-
my life.
Kid
Bro,
Cudi
there was
said
shirts made. Like,
Yeah, it's like a
we
trend- it
bought
was a
shirts.
trend-
It's a
it's a
trending
trending
thing.
thing,
People
yeah.
were at the concert holding signs.
But
saying,
they
"Kid Cudi
make
saved my
they
life."
make two different
Yo,
styles of
what,
music.
What's his name? What's that dude name? The white dude. Fuck.
From where?
He dated Ariana Grande.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. He got on a damn interview and was like, if you're this age and this age, you can literally say Kid Cudi saved your life.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people saying Kid Cudi saved your life. And he had very impactful music. And he brought awareness to suicide prevention.
Not only that,
And
he changed. Like he like opened up
avenues.
modern hip hop. Like
To the
he opened up
electronic
out,
beats.
yeah, to
Back
an
to
avenues
it.
to
Back
like
to the electronic
the
beats.
Uzis and the Playboy Cardis and all
And-
those and
Yeah,
like
and
back
the
up
made in
into the
Made in
rock.
Tokyo,
Again,
To the
I-
all
rock.
those.
I agree with you. I said musically, I think Cudi's more influential.
Okay, but the
But
point I was saying and was
his music
making,
directly
you're splitting
impacts
hairs.
everything
Yes, okay, he might be
But I'm saying
in
impact
a certain
and-
era. Wiz Khalifa was probably more impactful pop culture wise. But what I said, and you just said you disagreed, was if you took a weight, if you just could measure it in weight, in like a mass, who has the most impact?
I
Cudi.
think still Wiz has more because
Because you're like that's
I think he still has more because you have to take
He has
into
more of a superficial impact when you talk about ink your whole body and Chuck
no
Taylor. That's
even
what your whole argument was
even
based
no
upon.
even talking about
and
just weed.
smoking weed.
Even
That's superficial shit.
He has his own Kush, bro. He was one of the first rappers with his own brand of Kush,
Okay.
and he almost ushered in that whole.
Do you know that for a fact he was one of the first
He
rappers
was one
with
of
his
the
own
first
Kush?
rappers with his own Kush, bro. And KK, yes,
Do
he
you-
was.
okay. What's more what's more impactful, having your own brand of your own weed
Are you
or
saving people's
or
lives?
influencing hundreds of artists and
It-
opening avenues for hundreds of artists
it-
who are millionaires
It depends
because
on,
of him.
It depends on how
And,
what.
and,
no,
and
it depends.
bringing awareness to suicide prevention, stopping
it-
kids from killing themselves.
It depends on how you view impact because having his own weed strand brought a bunch of other rappers into getting their own money in the weed business, and now you see how weed is booming. So that in itself
yeah,
is
because they made
entrepreneurial.
it fucking legal, bro. Now you're able to get into it. Yeah, but if it was still illegal, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Again, bro,
So they
but-
made it legal.
again,
But
but-
this man Cudi, I
We-
may be biased because I love
Obviously.
Cudi to death. But what I'm saying is his impact, like what AJ's saying, is with the weight. I think all this Wiz Khalifa stuff is superficial. The Kid Cudi stuff means a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Saving people's lives is more important than fucking influential and Chuck Taylors and marijuana. I love Wiz Khalifa. I play this music all the time. I can recite almost every single song. But I'm saying Kid Cudi weighs more.
I disagree.
He weighs more.
I disagree. That's all.
You can disagree, but
We
he
can
weighs more.
We can put a poll up.
Somebody's life is worth more than a Chuck Taylor.
I'm not. It's not
if
just.
if AJ is about to jump off a bridge and he's like, I won't jump if you throw those Chuck Taylors over, I'm throwing them.
It's not just
throwing
such. I
them.
mean, we can help you
Might
get through
throw
some.
my flannel too.
We
You know,
can
I'ma
help
save the
you get
man's
through some
life.
tough times too.
Yeah,
So let's
but
not
it-
just act like.
Okay,
I mean, both
we-
of them.
we-
Both of them.
This
drugs
Wiz made it cool to be
never
positive
solve-
too.
Guys,
Drugs never solve the
Guys.
problem.
Wiz made it cool to be positive
Let's
too.
not talk over
Drugs,
each
drugs
other.
never solve the problem.
Phil and Brandon, both of them have heavy drug influence.
Thank you.
We're talking in circles now.
You said thank you.
let's
Like,
let's
niggas,
move on.
They both have.
AJ's gonna post a poll. Y'all can let us
Bro.
know in the comments who y'all think is more
Bro, they even
influential.
talk about it like the drugs.
I
don't
think
help you,
it's
bro.
clear cut. Like it's not even
It's
close
clear-cut,
impact
bro.
wise. But
We'll
if,
see what
if
the
we're
people
talking
think.
from a fashion standpoint,
What do you think, Zach?
I'll give Wiz.
I think Cudi is more influential overall, but we'll see. I
still
agree.
trying
I
to
agree
go
with
ways.
both of y'all. I think that just in general, it's Wiz from
Right.
like the fashion and all the besides the music stuff. But when it comes to music, I think it's Cudi. But we'll move on. So we'll talk about things that we have been streaming on different streaming platforms. We can start with let's see where we are. The Undoing. We talked about this last episode.
You finished it.
I started and finished it.
I finished it too.
You finished it
I
too?
finished it like in the same weekend.
Have y'all
I've
watched
not
it at all?
watched it.
No.
All right. So spoiler alert. If y'all
I really wanna
don't,
spoil this so bad.
if y'all don't want to hear about The Undoing and what it's about, y'all can go ahead and skip ahead. I'll make sure that we have timestamps. But it's about a murder that takes place. The show takes place in New York. A murder happens. You end up finding out like everyone's different storyline. This guy, he's a
Well,
doctor.
it doesn't start out with a murder.
Yeah,
Kind
it's
of get
about
introduced
the-
to all
yeah,
these
yeah,
characters,
yeah,
and
exactly.
like you're like, all right, where's this going? And then one of the characters that you thought was like, okay, this person is pivotal. Like they're definitely going to be in this a lot.
Yeah.
Or like they're gonna have a big speaker or whatever. Gets smacked off rip.
Yes,
Dang,
and
y'all just gonna ruin the show.
she is pretty cute too.
I was waiting for this.
She is pretty cute too. You see her several times in the show naked. She has a nice body. But nah, she
Creep Zach.
gets.
She also has a nice face. Like
Yeah. She has a nice face. Her eyebrows kind of annoyed me, but she has a nice face. But just throughout the entire show, you're like, who could have possibly killed this chick? She was having an affair with
another
this
character.
Yeah, with this guy who is married, who has a family. The guy that has the family and all that, like he's a doctor, like super well respected. But she has an affair with him, and in the beginning, it's like, okay, this guy did it. But as the show goes on, it's 6 episodes. You're like, okay, it's not
You
him.
get so confused. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
You don't know who it could possibly be. Each episode, you're like, okay, it could be this person, it could be this person. Who did you think that the killer was throughout majority of the show or the entire show?
Off jump, I didn't think it was who it ended up being.
Yeah.
Are we gonna spoil it for them?
No,
or-
because I might
No,
watch it.
we said spoiler alert. Y'all
No,
should have
don't
watched it.
spoil
We
alert,
mentioned
'cause
it. We mentioned it last episode.
Nah,
Me
'cause
and
Danny
AJ.
might be listening and she might want to watch it, so don't spoil it.
Okay, well, Danny,
It's not even
cover your
Danny.
ears.
Danny, cover your spill. But well, what was I just saying? So at first, I didn't think it was who it was. Like they did a really good job of like setting all the characters up, giving them good backstory, and creating like a lot of doubt. I didn't think it was who it was, but like around halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's this person, and it ended up being this person for the reasons I thought. I just noticed some things that were kind of off. But then there was a part where
Wait, so who did you think it was gonna be?
from the beginning, I thought it was a character that wasn't introduced yet.
Oh, okay.
And then halfway through, I was like, okay, it's definitely this person. And then I ended up being, not definitely, but like, I'm pretty sure it's this person. Because they're so good at creating doubt.
Yeah.
And throughout this show, the writing is really good, acting is
Yeah.
done well. I think they casted everyone well. I didn't really like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
She was the only person that I was like, all right, they could have picked someone else. Like I was actually googling, like, all right, who else would have been better
Yeah.
for this role? But the the child actors that were in it did great. The
Yes.
I didn't even the woman that Zach's attracted to.
one of the son of like the main family,
Yeah.
not the murderer, the one that got murdered. But I didn't even realize. I mean, it's you find out after episode 1 that the nigga's from like England, has an
he is.
accent.
Yeah.
So like typically you would think like older people would be able to do the American accent, but he's like probably like 12, 13.
He's
maybe
pretty good
14.
too. He played. Have you ever seen Honey Boy? The
Yeah,
Shia
yeah,
LaBeouf
yeah,
when he
yeah.
was Honey Boy.
I knew he looked familiar.
He was
That's
in.
what he's from.
He was in something else too that he was good. Oh, he was in what's that movie? The one about Ford vs Ferrari.
Okay.
He was the son in that one too. He was good. But yeah, and so Nicole Kidman, I think she's Australian. She has an accent.
Yeah.
The little kid is from England. He has that. Sometimes you kind of hear it, like they mess up because I mean, Hugh Grant's in it, and he had his accent on. So I feel like if someone from back home or from like the UK is talking with an accent to you, and you're supposed to be like, you'll slip sometimes, which you can kind of hear like a twang or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't catch it at all.
But yeah, it was just, I think it was well done all around. There, if you guys are wondering, it's not like I don't think it's going to be a series. It's like another season and stuff. It was kind of like a short series or like an extended movie if you want to, like a movie broken up into parts. But yeah, I wish we can get into spoilers. You guys have to watch it this week. If you don't watch it this week, we're just gonna spoil it.
No, I mean we already said spoiler alert.
No, fam.
No, I'm talking about for them too.
Fine,
we didn't say specific. We didn't really spoil it. We didn't say specific
Look,
details.
Zach trying to spoil it.
Cover your ears, bro.
No, folks, just go to the next.
Want to get into it.
All I'm gonna say is who I thought the killer was gonna be.
Okay.
I didn't think it was gonna be who the actual.
Wait, don't just not ruined it. But like, you didn't have to say that. You could just say who you thought.
Well, I thought the killer was gonna be the son of the mom who got killed. I really thought that's who it was gonna be. Yeah.
Okay.
And Tatiana, because when I said, "Oh, the son," Tatiana thought I meant the son of the other family,
the other main family.
Hugh Grant's son. She thought that's who I was talking about. She's like, "Oh, that's a really good theory," but I was like, "No, I mean the son of the murdered mom." And she was like, "Oh, that's an idiotic theory," but I really thought it was gonna be him because he the whole time he just seems so like I don't know. He seemed so frazzled and like never really spoke. And I was like, "Oh, clearly he found out that his dad had like their kid or whatever." So I really thought it was that nigga. But
I also think that what do you call it? The lawyer for like the black lady lawyer, she killed it.
Yeah,
she was amazing.
Yeah, she was super live.
She's also like, I think she has an accent too regularly.
Really? She seems like she would have.
But yeah, she was super dope. Like I think she's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. All right, but we can get off of
to save Brandon and Phil the grief.
Yeah, The Undoing. But then we're gonna talk about another show that Brandon has watched and not gotten to this point. But wanted to talk about Euphoria, the
special episode.
Yeah, the special episode.
I never watched it.
I think they're doing 2. Well,
it'll be good. Even if like we talk about it, like it'll be.
Yeah, this nothing crazy happened, so there's no spoilers or anything like that.
I mean, nothing can be spoiled for me because I just don't even pay attention.
Yeah, you just watch it.
But nah, this was a one I talked about it last episode. Euphoria is a really good show. It's well shot. I think you said this, like the way that it's shot, the acting, it's all super dope. But this episode, I'm pretty sure it's all shot in one location.
Yeah,
I don't even think, one location. Yeah, they're not even in another location, but it's literally 2 actors.
One location in a car.
Well, 3 really actors in the entire like episode between Zendaya, her sponsor or whatever, and then like the waitress in the diner. But the acting is amazing,
and the writing too.
Yes.
I think the writing helps a lot with how well they acted, or the acting. It kind of just like flows really well, but the writing was top tier in the acting as well.
Yeah. is definitely an emotional episode. If you going through some shit, expect to cry. I'm not.
If you're not, you're like, wait, hold on. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet like, I didn't realize I was walking into into
Yeah,
a therapy session.
yeah, exactly. But Tatiana, just like throughout her life, has gone through stuff. So she definitely ended up crying, and like we were kind of like cuddling on the couch. We had a pillow between us. All of a sudden, I hear sniffles. I'm like, are you crying? And she was like, yes. And she was like, how are you not? And I don't know. To me, it wasn't like overly emotional to where I'd be crying, but I guess in hindsight, I could see how it's definitely like that for
No,
some
they're
people.
definitely talking about some heavy stuff.
Yeah, super
And like
heavy.
I think they encompassed like the feelings around drug addiction and being depressed and stuff
Yeah.
really well, and confronted them or like addressed them in different and unique ways, but like very real ways. So I think it kind of hit home. And if you're like, even if you're not going through it, you're like, okay, like damn, people go through this, or like this is like a real thing, even though this is a show, is very real. And yeah, I think it was just good all around.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. Even if you haven't, you might need to watch the season to be able to understand like the characters and stuff. But even
Yeah.
if you don't,
Yeah.
it might be a good, if you just like cinema or like watching good film. It'd be cool to check that out.
Yeah. Definitely a super good show. Again, love Euphoria, love Zendaya.
So I hadn't seen Euphoria yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before the last, yeah, I hadn't, because I texted you when I was talking
Yeah.
about Undoing, and I watched it. I watched that and the Undoing all like
Yeah.
last weekend. I didn't really have much going on, but yeah. And Euphoria was dope too. But I think a lot of it, like you said, it's like high school drama and stuff like that in there. But a lot of it's like super exaggerated. Like, all right, like this might not. It's kind of weird, not weird, but like you want it to be exaggerated, or you don't want it to be exaggerated, but they had to be exaggerated because if you're in high school, and you're in that situation, it's gonna feel way more exaggerated just because you're a younger person, a younger mind, than what's actually happening, what's going on. But so I can see why they did it, but I was like, all right, looking at it from an outsider looking in, I'm like, all right, this kind of seems exaggerated, and they could have done a little less here. But when I took the stance of, all right, I'm a high schooler, seeing all this and going through this, it probably does seem this exaggerated or this crazy and so on.
But both of these shows are shows that are on HBO Max, and this was something that I tweeted yesterday, and you kind of wanted to bring up real quick. HBO Max, for me, and maybe you feel the same way, is definitely better than Netflix or Hulu or any other streaming service out there. HBO Max right now,
give me a reason.
they are killing it. One, all their original content that they've been putting out is amazing. Growing up, I always heard about like HBO. My family, we didn't have HBO, but now I'm able to watch some of the shows that they've had like throughout the past, between The Sopranos, The Wire. I've given a chance. Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is literally one of my favorite shows now. Stuff they're putting out now. They've always put out comedy specials. And now they just recently announced that in 2021, all Warner Bros. Movies are going straight to HBO Max now. I don't know if it's the same time as the theaters, but it's around it. Maybe it'll go like go in
if it
theaters
premieres
like
in theaters, it's going to premiere on HBO Max also.
Yeah, so I don't know. HBO Max, they are doing everything right at this moment. Like, there's no reason not. If you want a streaming platform, if you're kind of deciding, which in 2020, I don't know how you haven't decided at this point what you want, but HBO Max, definitely better than Netflix, better than Hulu, better than Disney Plus. If you want one, go with HBO Max.
I disagree. I think I like Netflix better than HBO. I think it would be Netflix and HBO Max be my number two. But yeah, Netflix has so much.
Yeah.
They have a lot more original content also, and they have like a great variety. And also if you're looking at movies and stuff too, they're not gonna have that same like that. HBO Max is number two, or even like even closer to number one that I would normally have it at, because they're gonna have those Warner Brothers movies being premiered. But it also depends on like what movies they have coming out. But yeah, like just from a critically acclaimed movie perspective, like if you can go on Netflix and at any given time have a list of like 20 critically, and they keep them
Yeah.
moving. Like it'll be a month they'll have these on, and then there'll be another slew of them, and they they always. I mean, sometimes there's some shows that are like hit or miss, but their original content, movie wise and show wise, is really good. Like sometimes they won't get like they'll have like one or two seasons with a certain show
Yeah.
or series because it just didn't get enough traction. But even still, I watched Altered Carbon and Marco Polo,
Yeah.
like right when they like Altered Carbon recently, Marco Polo right when it came out. Those are super super dope like series. I wish they would have kept going, but and I looked it up and why they didn't. But if they don't get enough traction or enough people watching it within like the first month, they won't. Are you telling me to stop? Oh no. All right. If they don't get enough traction or get enough views or people streaming it within the first month of that season dropping, then they won't renew it. Like that's how quick they make that decision
Yeah.
on that series. But like Altered Carbon and Marco Polo are also like set in different time frames, so it costs a lot more for them to produce it. Like Altered Carbon is in the future, so there's a lot of CGI, even though it's done really well, and costumes and a bunch of different stuff.
Super well.
Super well. But yeah, that costs like a lot of money. Like Marvel movies that have a lot of CGI are always up there in the millions. Like
Yeah.
the one for Altered Carbon season 1 or 2, it costs more. I think they have a similar actor or an actor that was also in what's that, Game of Thrones, and he said that one season cost more than the entire Game of Thrones series, all the seasons.
Yeah.
So like if it's that expensive and people aren't watching it at the rate they want, then they're probably gonna cut it. And then yeah, Marco Polo is good too, but the same reasons. It's set back in the day, so it costs a lot of money to get the costume design and all the actors and everything. But yeah.
So for me, I just think it's a quality versus quantity thing. I think HBO puts out a lot of good quality, whereas Netflix, it's quantity. Like they have a bunch of original content, but I mean, I guess both of them, neither one of them really do a good job of like highlighting what's new and whatnot, and kind of categorizing things. Like HBO Max now has done a better job. When I just had HBO before it was HBO Max, like I thought they did a shitty job of kind of like pushing content.
Nobody does a worse job than Hulu.
Yeah.
I think they all do a shitty job.
I'm also probably
No,
just
Hulu's
not,
way worse than all of
Yeah.
them.
I'm
Trust
probably
me,
just not
yeah.
as familiar with HBO Max and like
Yeah.
HBO shows and stuff.
Altered
Like
Carbon was on Netflix as well, right?
yeah, Altered Carbon with Netflix.
But Netflix puts out so much original content. But I mean, you just mentioned Altered Carbon. I can't think of the last show that was like Netflix original. Where I mean, was good. Was what's the show where it's like each episode's different? It's like a bunch
Black
of
Mirror?
like Black Mirror. Is that Netflix original?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also like Netflix also has a lot of British and like BBC shows that move on to Netflix, or they have like a branch that creates, and you don't like British accents in the shows.
I hate it.
So like that is gonna like you're not gonna like Last Kingdom. You're not gonna like Peaky Blinders. Like a lot of really good series and shows that just have British actors or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. One of my favorite cartoon type shows that is a Netflix original, Big Mouth, just came out this week. So if y'all have
season
never
3.
watched it's season
Big
3,
Mouth's
yeah.
funny.
If y'all have never watched Big Mouth before, I would definitely suggest watching that. If you like show like Family Guy, Bob's Burgers,
Is Bob's Burgers on Netflix?
no, I'm just saying like
Okay, yeah.
if you like these shows
It's on
because of
Hulu.
their comedy, Rick and Morty,
It's on Netflix too.
Hulu's Rick and Morty's on Hulu.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm talking about Bob's Burgers.
Bob Burgers is on Hulu.
Yeah, it's
Not
on
on
Hulu. I don't
Netflix.
think it's on Netflix. But Big Mouth would kind of fall into the same category, and you would definitely enjoy this show. Super funny. Little kids just talking about wild shit.
Netflix also, I like that they listen to their subscribers too.
Yeah.
Like there's been a couple times where like they're taking something off and people are like, no, we want it on there, and then Netflix will pony up the money and be like, all right, we'll keep Friends, we'll keep The Office, like we'll pay the extra whatever to keep it going.
Also, Netflix initially they did a good job of having all this stuff, but now that everyone's starting to get their own streaming platform, they're just losing everything. So they've lost Friends, they've lost The Office because of Peacock and whatnot. But I say all this, but they do have my favorite show of all time, Dexter. So Netflix, as long as you keep Dexter on Netflix, I will always have a Netflix
on Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, I want them to come out with The Witcher season 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, The Witcher's good.
The Witcher's really good. Umbrella Academy is pretty dope on Netflix as well. They have some animes on it that are pretty decent, like Seven Deadly Sins. I don't know if everybody knows Seven Deadly Sins. They're pretty dope, you know. So I mean, Netflix has a lot of good stuff. Hulu, I'm not the biggest fan of. I pay for it, but I hate y'all.
I like Hulu. I like Hulu.
Hulu has live sports.
Yeah. Hulu has live sports. Fuck that.
Give us a contract.
They have 90 Day Fiance, so I watch that all the time.
You actually watch the show?
Let's get on the sports.
Yeah. Let's finish off with sports. It's going to be another long episode, 2 episodes in a row. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the long form content. But sports, Anthony Joshua fight. What's up with that?
I threw that on there. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to find a way to watch it. But I like.
Who's he fighting?
I don't even know the guy's name. It's like Lex. Like I don't know. It's some weird, like probably Russian or Eastern European type name. But I just like heavyweight boxing and kind of just want to check it out and see what's up with that. He had that bad loss to Cesar Ruiz. Yeah. But I think he beat him again after. I'm not sure.
They had the rematch.
He had a rematch. He won. And I'm just interested in seeing heavyweights go back at it, because I know if Anthony Joshua wins and he's back in publicity, that's gonna have your boy Deontay Wilder that you've been quoting, and Tyler Fury. What's his name?
To this day.
Tyson Fury get back in the ring.
The Gypsy.
The Gypsy King.
And just get heavyweight boxing going again.
He's a fucking king.
Are y'all excited for Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and Floyd gonna beat his ass.
I just don't understand why this is the fight. Obviously, Jake Paul is the one that's hot right now. He just beat up Nate Robinson. So why the fuck is Logan Paul the one fighting Floyd?
I honestly, it's for money. Because look at this. He's gonna beat Logan Paul easily. And then he's like, "No, I got my brother's back," and that's just gonna come. Now I'm gonna fight you, Floyd, and that's just gonna bring in more money.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. Hey. Floyd does a really good job of just making fights interesting, like the McGregor fight. Like he definitely extended it longer than it had to be.
Yeah. You think he could have won quicker?
Easily. Yeah, easily.
I think Logan definitely. There's a lot of that back though.
Yeah, there's a lot of. What do you call it? Conor McGregor stands that'll probably argue with you.
No, Floyd literally was just letting him tire himself out. Then when he tired himself out, he just started beating his ass. Like he really could have boxed with him the whole fight. He just made it. He'll prolong a fight to make it more interesting, so he'll get a bigger has another payday up. I don't think it'll be no contest. I think Floyd gonna wash him. I doubt he gets hit more than 12 times.
12 times.
12 to 15 times.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
Yeah,
because it's shot.
Nah, even one from what's his name, Logan. Even one from Logan is not gonna put Floyd down. Floyd has been hit by Miguel Cotto. I doubt Logan Paul hits as hard as Miguel Cotto. Yeah. And Miguel Cotto caught Floyd, and who else caught him? What's the boy name? The one that made him buckle. Light skinned buddy with the curly hair, Sugar Shane. Yeah. I doubt he hits as hard as any of those fighters.
All right, but getting off boxing, we can talk about a little bit of NBA. I know you wanted to go through NBA power rankings, but we won't go through all the teams. Not yet. You want to do top 5, top 10? How we want to do this?
We could maybe just playoff teams and who we think in the West and the East can make the playoffs based on what they did in the offseason and last year.
Well, I think the biggest question mark right now is what are the Houston Rockets going to do after getting John Wall?
John Wall, and that's another. We just watched this right now, but John Wall looks good.
Yeah.
Boogie looks good also.
He's shooting well. Yeah, he's shooting well.
Boogie hit a shot. Wall took Kobe White off the dribble first play of the game. Got a few assists. So I don't know. I'm excited to see Wall back and see him back in, get back to his prime or get back to playing high level.
But I mean, we need to see where James Harden goes, because obviously, if he leaves and they don't gain any key players, I mean, they can be taken out of the playoffs.
The playoff contention. Right now, if he stays, I think I'd have them up there. Like I hope he stays because I want to see what happens with that team and where him and because Boogie can stretch the floor. You still have John Wall being a Russ type player who can also pass just as well, and run the floor.
Yeah.
But I think they'd be in. So if let's just like Harden's there. So let's just say Harden's there when we do these rankings.
So I mean, I think the Suns maybe I feel like they aren't an 8th seed, but for some reason I still want to call them an 8th seed.
Yeah.
I don't know who else because the West, as we all know, is super tough. But for me, just playing it safe, I think I'll say Suns 8th seed.
Suns 8.
Okay. I could see Suns at 8 just because ever since Chris Paul has been in the West, he gets his teams to the playoff.
Yeah.
And so he's with a prolific scorer.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say, and it's still always weird to me that the Pelicans are West, right?
Yeah, Pelicans.
Yeah. I'm going to say Pelicans 8th. That's my hot take.
So you think Pelicans are 8 and Suns don't make it?
No, I think Suns 7.
Oh, Suns 7.
So who drops?
I definitely think the Suns make it.
So who drops out if you add in the Pelicans and the Suns?
Yeah, who was in there last year?
It was Dallas. It was Portland, Lakers, Clippers, Mavs, Utah, Denver. That was it.
So let me
So you got Lakers, Clippers.
So hold up. So I got I just said Pelicans
and the Suns.
I'm gonna say Blazers.
So you saying Utah not gonna be in there?
As the 6th. Then and this is off the dome. This is off the dome.
Shout out Dunn and Drew.
Yeah. So then Blazers.
Ain't no way.
Then Nuggets.
Lakers, Clippers.
You're doing it hard. You're going backwards.
Yeah, I am. Then
Utah.
I'm gonna say Utah doesn't make it.
I'm
sorry. Wait, who are the Lakers, Clippers, and who's
Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Utah?
No, there's 3. There's a top 3.
Nuggets.
Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets.
Fuck, I lost it.
Just start from the top. So you got Lakers in there, you got Clippers in there, you got Denver in there, right?
Yeah.
You got Dallas in there?
Yeah, I said
so
Dallas.
You got Dallas in there. So do you have Utah in there?
I don't think so. Maybe
do you got the Rockets in there?
I think maybe I'd knock the Rockets out.
So if you knock out Utah and the Rockets, then you would have Lakers,
Suns and
Clippers. You'd have Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Portland.
Oh no, Luke! Hopefully, with all the editing, you were able to do the math I had left.
Yeah, here you want to look at it? Look at the thing and go. So I think I can go through it right now, but I think I have Lakers, Clippers, and Nuggets are our top 3.
Yeah.
In whichever order. Then I think Utah. You got to keep Utah up there. Dallas is gonna be 4. Honestly, Dallas might be in that top 3 also.
Yeah.
Then I think it's just like it was last year.
I think Clippers drop off
for the last spot. I think Portland makes it. You think Clippers drop
out? I don't think they'd be 2. I think they 3 or 4.
Who did I say was in the top 3? Lakers.
I don't think the Clippers got better.
Okay, but they're still. I mean, they have another year of experience under their belt.
Yeah, true, but you lost Trez and you lost did they only lose Trez?
So OKC is out this year for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, OKC is out.
So I think it's gonna be LA, both LAs, Denver, Dallas,
Utah,
Portland.
Yeah.
And one more.
I got Phoenix.
You got Phoenix?
Yeah.
I got Phoenix. I'm biased. I have to say Phoenix. I think the Pelicans can be good. They're gonna have Zion with another year.
We did not say the Warriors, bro.
Oh, the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors.
Zion.
Warriors.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Actually, Phoenix might not get in.
Phoenix might not get in, and Pelicans might not get in.
Yeah.
Utah could drop though.
Everything.
Not the Warriors got Utah got better though. Didn't they? Who they add? Didn't they add buddy from? Where did Grant go? He go to Atlanta.
No, wait, Grant, Jeremy
Grant. Where'd he go?
No, he went to. He might
Utah
have went to Atlanta.
Utah got better, no?
I don't think Utah got better.
Yeah, bro, but still Warriors.
Wow, we just botched this, but yeah, Warriors. I think Warriors are gonna be in there. So instead, I think it stays. The playoff teams from last year are gonna stay the same. It's just gonna be Warriors instead of OKC.
Yeah.
As badly as I want to see Chris Paul and Phoenix get in there, yeah, I mean, depending on health, who knows, and depending on what happens with Harden, the Rockets might not be in. But
Yeah.
I really like.
And
I
it's a
wanna see
playing
Phoenix.
tournament this year too, so
Yep.
it could go anyway.
Yeah. And then moving over to the East. Who you guys have as your number one seed in the East?
Still think the Bucks.
You think the Bucks?
Yeah.
They're a good regular season team. They got better. I think.
Boston,
You got Boston as number one
number one.
over Brooklyn too, because Brooklyn has KD and Kyrie back.
Nah,
I just because we
You
see
might have
it-
to go Brooklyn
We
by
see
default.
this year in and year out. A team becomes stacked.
Mm-hmm.
First year they always struggle. When's the last time we've seen a team that got a bunch of key pieces in it? I mean, this is year 2 for them, but Kyrie
I mean,
and
the
KD
Heat,
were both
Lakers.
The Heat, Lakers year one was trash. What do you mean?
No, they got Anthony Davis last year and won.
Okay.
out. Okay, but we got LeBron year.
You got
one
LeBron
and
before that. Yeah.
It was
but
nothing.
That's
they didn't
when
get AD to. I'm saying the super team wasn't until they got AD, technically.
But I'm saying
Yeah,
when you
but
get
if
a
you-
bunch of like random pieces stack up, and it's like, okay, this team.
Which is
got-
what they did that
yeah.
first year with LeBron, and they didn't make the playoffs. But I think the Heat, and maybe the
But
Celtics.
No one's
Celtics
really
were the original
saying
B3 or
you're
B3?
the Heat now or the Heat with
no, the Heat.
D-
The Heat. You said when they their first season, D Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron.
Yeah, they lost in the finals, didn't they?
Yeah, but
yeah,
they
but they
were
went to the
first.
finals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't win in the finals. So I'm
But
saying,
they win in
yeah.
the finals.
yeah.
Okay, that's different than being like good
Yeah.
and
So a lot of times, like you see these super teams, they might make it to the finals, but they don't end up winning, or might not even make it to the finals. So I'm not saying Brooklyn. I mean, they might be a number one seed, but I'm not saying they win the finals at all.
I don't think they win, but I think they. Yeah, I got them first. I got them, Boston, and
Milwaukee?
Miami, like my top 4.
yeah.
And
The
in no
Heat just
particular
went to the
order.
finals, but I think like the Heat they show up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like in the regular season, they still play well. They take care of business. We had one of the best home records in the league, but when it comes to playoff time, no matter what seed they are, no one wants to play them. It's a different animal or a different team once playoff starts. So I don't think it really matters where they go. I think this will make it deep into the playoffs. Maybe a finals appearance again, or Eastern Conference Finals appearance. But I have them at 4, or 3 or 4. So I think Toronto falls out a little bit, maybe at 5th seed.
Yeah,
But
they lost Gasol and Ibaka.
yeah, I think 76ers improve also are going to be in there. So yeah, I'll have of Milwaukee, Heat, Boston. I think Washington gets in the 8th. And it gets an 8th seed.
Interesting. They was what?
And
Didn't
I'ma
the
say-
Bulls get someone decent, or am I tripping?
nah, they just
Nah,
drafted. They
Bulls
ain't
gonna be at the
nobody.
bottom.
Yeah, so I'll just say Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Celtics, Heat, Sixers. Was that 5?
Yeah. We're on 6 now.
Detroit is getting people back too.
Yeah,
Let's say-
I don't think Detroit's doing making any noise.
I'll say Orlando, Washington, and Pacers, 8 seed.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
mad at that. I'm not mad.
But
at that
I think the Hawks can make a push for that 8 seed also.
Actually, I think I'm taking the Hawks over those
I have Hawks
last
over
2 or
Pacers.
3 teams you said.
I got Hawks over Pacers. I don't know if like those last 3. I don't know what order they're going to be in. I just think that those 3 are going to make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Because didn't the Hawks just get another shooter?
You got Gallinari. They got
Yeah.
Did Jeremy Grant go there? I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, Gallinari's a good ad. They added a bunch of people.
But the rest of the sports stuff we kind of just touched on within this conversation. So I really have nothing else. Do y'all have anything else before we wrap up this podcast?
I think that's it. Preseason just started today. We've been watching games in and out. So if you see us go, oh, or like make a face, I know I caught myself a couple
Yeah.
times. I caught Brandon a couple times watching the game and reacting to something we saw.
Yup.
But yeah, just happy NBA is back.
I don't think I got anything.
Nah, you good.
All right, cool. Well, it's been another episode.
Kid Cudi, the most influential artist of all time.
Do the
Fuck
drop,
Wiz
Phil.
Khalifa. I love you though, Wiz.
We disagree, but
It's been another episode of Saving for the Pod, episode number 7. YouTube, subscribe and like. Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Put it right here. We didn't do that this episode. Put it right here, Luke.
Apple, definitely leave a review. Right now we have 3 reviews. Me and Tatiana are 2 out of the 3, and then Phil's cousin is the 3rd.
Shout out.
Shout out. I gotta shout out Mimi because she got mad that we didn't shout her out in Guyana because I was talking about my Australian. She goes, "You shout out the Australian?" I'm like, I'm gonna shout you out in the pod. She's like, "Don't." So shout out Mimi and Guyana.
Hey, shouts out to Kid Cudi. Thank you for releasing it.
All right. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed another long episode. It's been episode 7. Peace.
Fuck.
Ciao.